I guess foursome, and then fivesome, and then gangbang.
You're in no man's land.
Yeah.
No, you're in a lot of men's land. A lot of men's.
Brandon Morse, today at 1. MoJo 50.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252.
MoJo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. The mothership has landed.
Oh, not a day too soon. This has been another long week. It's like last week.
This has been a very long week.
It's almost like we're doing double duty. It's weird.
Yeah.
But it's time to sing. Coming to ya.
On a dusty road.
Good God.
Good loving.
How much?
About a truckload.
That's right.
And when you get it,
What you got?
you got something.
Uh-huh.
So don't worry, 'cause I'm coming. I'm a
Soul Man. Ba-dum-ba-ba-dum. Is that the Sam and Dave, or is that the Blues Brothers?
No, that's the Blues Brothers.
That's what I thought. It just sounds really good.
It's a Good Friday song.
I say we all go home now.
Let's do it.
Let's just pack it in. Why take the risk of killing it now? Oh, 2000.
Man, Brandon was way too quick.
I was just kidding. You can come back.
Oh, I thought we were being serious.
Damn it. 2000. 2000 is the number. 2024 to be more specific. That is
Flying cars.
Robocalls. Robocalls received in the United States every second.
What?
In February.
Wait, hang on, wait, repeat that. So that you have 2,000 robocalls in the month of February alone.
Every second.
Across
No,
the
no, no.
night. Every second. I was going to say,
second.
that seems like a very low number.
Every second.
Because I'm receiving one at least twice or three
I started
times a
saying
week.
about 2,000 of those have hit me this
I know.
month.
I keep getting this one.
We will now cover all costs associated with your pain relieving brace.
What pain
For
relief?
more information on how to receive your medical brace, press 1 now.
Mhm.
To be placed on our do not call list, press 2 now.
By the way, that doesn't work if they leave you a voicemail. It doesn't work even if you press 2. So
The one I get is that the FBI is looking for me for some reason.
Oh, my favorite ones are the IRS.
Yes, they've already
They have
launched
launched
an
the
investigation, and you're going to die or go to jail.
Go to jail, that's right.
One of the two, unless you call them back.
They actually busted up one of those little, because the IRS was quote unquote calling people for a while.
Right.
And the IRS will never call you.
No.
Which is actually the one good thing about the IRS. Nobody wants a call from the IRS.
No, they don't. They'll just send you a letter.
Exactly. But so they were like, the IRS has targeted or like audited you and you owe blah, 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 blah. If you would like to pay right now before you go to jail,
where do I write the
then
check?
send the check to yada, yada, yada. But apparently many people have fallen for this.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so they busted up a ring. I think it was in like Tennessee somewhere.
Tennessee.
TNCs.
Bastards.
But they were going through India.
Of course they were.
Because why not?
They rerouted the calls that way.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they found him and busted it up. Now that guy who's running the ring is going to prison for a long time.
5 billion calls nationwide last month total, which was shy actually of January's all-time high of 5.2 billion.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So they cut back.
So are these things? They must be working. That must be the thing. I mean,
no,
why would they
definitely
keep,
work?
Why would Why wouldn't they? Why would they keep doing them if they don't
I
work?
started to say the number of people who probably fall for that crap.
Oh, is through the roof.
Oh yeah.
or they wouldn't do it.
Right, exactly. If it didn't work, it wouldn't.
The odds are in their favor.
But they are getting much better about it too. Like in terms of how they fool people, because like they'll call you up and you'll be like, "Hi, it's Stacy. Is this? Or how are you doing today?"
And then you go to answer,
and then you answer.
I'm doing okay. Well, anyway, I wanted to tell you about, and they keep talking right over.
Yeah,
you.
exactly. But it's all automated, but they're making it sound like more and more realistic nowadays. But like the ones that I get mostly are the ones like, "Hi, is this Brandon Morse?" And I'm like, who's asking? Exactly. I do not ever say yes immediately. Never say yes immediately.
Because usually the next words you'll hear are, "You've been served."
Yeah. No, I had a debt collector call me one time. And like, "Is this Brandon Morse?" I'm like, "Who wants to know?" And he's like, "Well, I'm Susie from yada yada yada." "Oh, okay. What's this about?" "Well, I can't legally tell you."
Right.
"Oh, well, I can't legally tell you."
Right.
"If this is Brandon Morse." "Well, I can't proceed unless you tell me if you're Brandon Morse." "Well, it looks like we're at a standoff."
Which means you can't
do your job.
That's right.
But they say like, "Is this Brandon Morse?" You know, like the first person is actually real, and then once you confirm it or say anything else, they'll automatically go to the recording.
Right. Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So that way you're just fooled into thinking. But yeah, they're getting good at it.
Yes,
so
they
many
are.
people are buying into it.
It's and I found this vintage Doc clip from when he and Brian were at, I think it's Magic, where they one of the guys, the producer of the show, he just recorded a bunch of Terminator lines from the movie. And he would, it's kind of the reverse robocall. He would call up places I think they call the Hooters. In this case, it's Best Buy, and just start playing these clips of the Terminator talking. And these people would think that it was a real person and have the conversation with them. This is fascinating. And here it comes.
Any day.
People working at their helpline, because this woman really, really wanted to help, even when he got belligerent.
Thanks for calling Gateway. We're putting people before technology. My name is Cassie. What's yours?
I'm Detective John Kimball.
John, how are you doing tonight?
How are you?
Good. You were looking at possibly adding on to your Gateway?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had your Gateway for more than 30 days, John?
Yes.
Okay. And did you purchase it for use in your home or for business?
Yeah.
For home?
Yes.
Okay. And was the Gateway for use inside the United States only?
Yes.
Okay. I kind of have bad news for you, John. The add-on sales department that you'll need to talk to is closed for the evening.
Come on. Don't with me.
No, I'm not. Their hours are 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, and that's Central Standard Time.
Well, you must be very proud of yourself. Yeah.
They're also open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday.
What's the matter?
So if I could have you just call back, just call back this number.
You son of a bitch.
And, John,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that, but there's nothing that I can do. The department is closed, right?
Stop it!
If you just call back during one of those times tomorrow, John, add-ons will be able to help you out, okay?
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Well, what kind of questions were you going to ask?
First, I would like to just get to know you.
Well, John, I'm not in the sales department, so I'm not going to be able to help you with the computer. Do you already have a Gateway?
Who are you?
My name is Cassie.
Yeah.
Oh, do you already have a Gateway, John?
My CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
Okay. And you were looking at adding...
Give me your address.
Okay, John, I'm sorry, but you're going to need to call and talk to add-ons tomorrow, okay? Thanks for calling Gateway.
Yeah, that got scary at the end. Stop it. I'm hearing voices.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
It's not the tumor. They sounded like they had so much fun.
They
back
really
then.
did. You know what? We should have a soundboard where we just do that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, that costs money.
It does.
We'd have to have money to do that.
Folks, if you want us to do stuff like that, send us money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we need a 360, folks. It's about $2,000. That's what we need.
360, 361, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Which, by the way, what's the coffee up to now? 5 1/4 is the next bid?
5 1/4 is the next bid. It's at 500 now.
All right, so 5 1/4 is our next
pilot.
bid. All right, so he's apparently pilots have a lot of money. 5 1/4 the next bid if you want to submit a bid for not only the Doc Thompson's Bacon Blast coffee and the coarse grind, much like he is, and his hat.
Hell!
Thank you very much. That's a bell worthy, and his hat as well, which does contain official Doc Thompson DNA. So if you are so inclined, you could create your very own little Doc Thompson at home. I mean, that kid in Memphis created his own nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
So what's to say you can't take this hat and make your own little Doc Thompson?
Exactly.
What you do with it?
Dream big.
Actually, what you do with it, we'd like to know. And please send pictures and possibly videos. If you do create your own little Doc Thompson.
Dolly the Doc Thompson.
Uh-huh.
Remember Dolly the
Oh,
sheep?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think there's definitely cloned humans now.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, they've got. Oh, come on, Fred.
They've been doing it with sheep now for like years, decades.
Oh no, I'm okay. So yeah.
If you think that somewhere
I went the science fiction route. Sorry, but no, you're right.
If you think there's not
clone,
some kind of government, like a laboratory somewhere that we're not supposed to know about that has a couple humans cloned
we
right
know
now.
that there's been test tube babies and stuff like that. You know, but yeah, no, I bet they're.
If they were doing it with sheep all that long ago, they're doing it with people now.
Y'all remember that cloned sheep?
Episode 1 and 2 of Altered Carbon last night.
Oh, did you? So you started Altered Carbon,
Now,
which is essentially sci-fi softcore porn.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the dude's name? The lead
Takashi.
No,
Altered
the tall,
I'm
he reminds me of Dolph Lundgren.
I'm looking it up.
Oh, what's the actor's name?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Takashi.
He was.
Hang on, I'm looking it up.
He was also in The Killing, and he played.
He was also in House of Cards.
Yeah, that's right. He played the president.
Yeah.
His name is. Oh, wait, is that Chris Connor? Is it Chris Connor? No, it's not Chris Connor.
Nope, that's not it. I'll know it when you say it.
Yeah.
No, that's not it.
Joel Kinnaman.
That's it.
Joel Kinnaman.
Joel
He's a
Kinnaman.
pretty good stoic actor. But he plays a badass in this show. It's pretty cool.
He really does. I will say that.
A lot of sci-fi in this movie, in this series. I like that.
I really like. I mean, I don't want to ruin it. Like, I'm not going to give anything away. But like the series starts
Kurt Russell
out.
dies in the end.
What the hell, man?
In every one of them. That's right.
And Luke Skywalker is actually Darth Vader's son. No, but I really like. I think the show starts off super strong.
Yeah.
And the concept behind it is amazing to watch. If you are into nudity and violence, then this is the show for you because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But like I feel like in the last like half or maybe last 3 episodes or something like that, for some odd reason, it's almost like they ran out of budget. And so like the entire show is it kind of reminds me of like a remember like the sci-fi WB like channel shows, you know, it's
they
like
tried something,
and it just kind of looks like, oh, you guys definitely just put up a bunch of like transparent walls with like lights
threw a
shining
bunch of
in
crap
through it,
against
and,
the wall to see if it would stick.
and like no, like transparent walls, and then like they have lights shining in the back that are constantly moving. It's like, oh, what's the sci-fi?
Called TV on a budget.
Yeah, but that's kind of like what happens near the end of it, and I'm just kind of like, what happened to all these like amazing? Because it's very Blade Runner at first.
Yes.
Oh, it is
very Blade Runner.
There are a few lulls during the course of the series, but I mean overall, I think it's good.
How many seasons is it?
Just one.
Oh, just
so
one
far.
season. Okay.
Apparently, there is definitely works for a season 2.
Good.
Season 2. Let's see.
And if you haven't seen The Killing, that's a good one too. That's a dark one.
Yeah.
I tend to go toward the darker series.
I do too.
I don't know why.
That's the one with the female detective, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw the first few episodes.
I think that's really good as well. So have they renewed?
I'm looking it up. Altered Carbon season 2 has been. It's confirmed. I just don't know when it's coming out.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Need a little extra cash? The Republican Party now is offering a $1,000 reward for a blackface photo of Virginia's Attorney General.
Really?
I like that we're so secure in the fact that we know Democrats do blackface a lot.
Yes.
It's floating around out there somewhere.
Yeah, the offer includes a photo of Virginia Attorney General Mark Herring with the word wanted. So it's like an old wanted poster. Herring admitted last month that he wore blackface when he was in college in 1980. His admission came amid that whole whirlwind of scandals and controversy that was here, and then it was, gone.
Woo!
And boy, is Governor Northam, is he happy about that.
I bet.
Just boo in, boo gone.
Governor Northam is like, for all the trouble that he got into, how lucky is it that like the entire, like I feel like his entire thing was overshadowed
by
everything else.
Yeah, well,
if you're a Democrat, you can quite literally a Republican could sneeze incorrectly, breathe out of the wrong nostril, and it's like, oh yeah, well he wore blackface and advocated infanticide,
right?
But this guy over here looked at me funny.
Yeah, That's true. It's the old double standard. The Republican Party of Virginia notes the $1,000 reward will go to the first person to provide verifiable photograph of Herring in blackface. Somebody's got it. I think the $1,000 is a little too low.
Yeah, I do too.
I think they should have gone big, maybe 10 grand, 50, maybe 50 grand. I mean, what's it worth to them?
I think that, yeah, exactly. I think that maybe if it's going to be this big of a decider for somebody's future career and this big of a step up for the Republican Party, to be able to cause this big of a hit, more than $1,000 is warranted here. Come on.
I mean, 50 grand. Go big or go home. For crying out loud.
That's
what
she said.
Yeah. Speaking of going home, you know who's not? Paul Manafort.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to prison.
Homeboy's getting boned.
He's going to prison for 4 years. Yeah. Actually, not quite 4. He's going for 47 months.
Yeah.
You know, the prosecution wanted to send him there for anywhere from 19 to 24 years. The judge was like,
let's calm down.
Let's calm down.
Yeah.
You don't get that much for killing somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
He was sentenced yesterday to almost 4 years in federal prison. You can read that Country Club. For cheating, and this is the part that I love, he was sentenced for cheating banks and the government out of millions of dollars.
I get cheated by the government.
Thank you very much.
All the time. How come?
Thank you. Why doesn't the government go to prison?
Yeah, something's wrong here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You in the back?
Yes. We have a phone call.
We have a phone call.
My God, we've got a new phone system and we're going to use it.
That's right.
Hello, Madam Sue Jackhole.
Good morning, Brad. How are you guys today, Brandon?
Hey.
So good. It's No Pants Friday, so we're great.
I am not wearing a thing.
Nope.
I am Donald ducking it.
I love Brandon.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No. After you, please. Ladies first.
I called Brad after heated debate on the chat room in MeWe because, as you know, we're feeling very neglected.
Oh, you know what? Let me head there right now.
I voted for calling MeWe Protective Services on you.
Well,
but
if you send Officer Hot out, then I will gladly submit to any sort of a pat down. That's all it takes.
Okay.
That's all it takes.
Well,
but there's a brand new.
Well, we decided we were going to. Go ahead.
Nope. After you. I insist.
I was going to say that instead of putting you guys in MeWe jail, Kirk, the slightly venomous jackhole, was kind enough to do you a favor and start a new page.
Yes.
Yes. So all of these things of what I learned today can be in one place for you to look, so that you don't have to neglect us anymore.
Well, there you go.
See, y'all got mad at me because, for 2 days in a row now, apparently I haven't been able to read any what I learned today because I look through the feeds and I don't find them.
They never say what I learned today. They keep talking about getting feet rubbed.
They're getting mad at me.
These memes of boobs and all this disgusting.
So, yes, thank you very much. I would love to have what y'all learned today in one convenient spot for me to find. So that way, whenever Brad asks, what did our audience learn today?
Right.
I can proceed to tell him.
And so I assume this is going to be an easy to find chat room, or is it well hidden?
No, it's very easy to find, and there's a chat room and a page, and it is at hashtag what I learned today, or what I learned on MoJo 50. I'm sorry, hashtag what I learned on MoJo 50.
I just joined it.
All right.
I just joined it.
All right. Well, we will keep an eye on that. That's very very nice of you, so that we can shine the spotlight on you.
Yes, thank you so much. You are an angel.
All right, Madam Sue.
Well, look, I just called to tell you about it. It was Kirk, the slightly venomous jackhole, who started it. So he's the brilliance behind the whole idea.
Thank you, Kirk, the slightly venomous jackhole.
So he's the attention whore. All right. We just need to make sure we know which one of you is. All right. All right, cool.
Like I said, I'm the one that wanted to send you to jail, and I still have that CPS number right here by my phone. So
again,
you better straighten up.
I stand by my comment. If you send Officer Hot out, she's welcome to strip search me, pat me down, pat me up, pat me across, pat me under, pat me over. All right. Thanks, Sue. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. In the meantime, as Paul Manafort's going to jail, President Trump has now secured funding for more than half of the border wall.
Good for him. Did he get any of it from Mexico?
No, not yet, I don't think. 111 miles of new or replacement wall is either being built or is in progress on the southern border after his first 2 years. This is according to administration officials. The administration has now secured funding for approximately 445 miles of the total 722 miles desired by the Trump administration, which I think this whole national declaration of national emergency, I think this was the... hey, watch over here.
Yeah.
Look, don't look at it. I think that he played them brilliantly again.
I think he did play them brilliantly. I always kind of assume that whenever Trump does something huge, there's something else going on that he's trying to distract the press from.
Yep.
Because if there's one thing I learned about President Trump, being he did come from the media. You know, he knows how to play them. Jon Stewart said it best. Trump knows how to play on their narcissism.
Yep.
So he can have them freaking out about something over here. Meanwhile, he's over here getting stuff done.
Yep.
But
he's like a magician.
Yeah. I just declaring the national emergency. I get a little.
He didn't though.
Oh, he didn't.
No, I did. He not. Am I mistaken? I don't think he did.
I thought he did.
I don't think he ever issued the executive order.
Oh,
I don't think he did.
So he just used the threat of it.
To
make people
wrong,
freak out.
I may be wrong, but I was under the impression he didn't ever issue the executive order.
Oh.
He kept threatening to do it.
Maybe I'm.
I don't know, and I could absolutely be wrong.
Yeah.
But that was my impression. So if that's in fact what he did, that was brilliant.
Well,
but again, remember, we've got 31 other national emergencies that continue on since that are in effect today.
Yeah.
From 1979.
Yeah.
And every year they're re-signed into effect.
How cool would it be if every 30 or 40 years we could just be like, all right, government reset.
Yeah, that would be swell.
Bare bones constitution.
Not ever going to happen. Well, and this is Congress. Congress is the one who passed the bill requiring or outlining the legislation behind the executive orders, and that you can lay this at their feet. They're the ones who started it all. So that's another big thing in the news. I just do a little news roundup. And this is getting interesting in the Democrat presidential field. Sherrod Brown has now dropped out. He has decided he is not going to be running for president.
Sherrod?
Nope, he is not. Neither is Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley. Hillary Clinton, as you know, has said she's dumped her plans. Michael Bloomberg is not going to be running for president either.
Good.
Do you know what he's going to be doing? This is great.
What is he going to be doing?
He's going to focus on climate change.
Oh, good for him.
Yes. Yeah. He said that he made his announcement this week, and he said that he was mindful of the difficulty of prevailing in the Democrat Party nominating primary process, especially given the leftward turn the party has taken in recent years. I believe I would defeat Donald Trump in a general election, he said, but I am clear-eyed about the difficulty of winning the Democratic nomination in such a crowded field.
Oh, absolutely. And here's the funny part. Right now, Bloomberg's a radical. He's a radical leftist. This is the same guy who decided that it would be good if we just banned sugary drinks. All right? Because apparently, it's one man telling everyone else what they can and can't do is what America's all about.
Right.
But compared to AOC,
I know, right?
He actually bashed the Green New Deal,
Yes,
which made him actually look like a centrist.
I know.
That's how horrible it is right now for the Democrats when Michael Bloomberg looks like he's the guy with sense.
We're bearded Spock.
So
I'm telling you.
I'm kind of curious as to what's how he's gonna approach the problem of climate change.
He's gonna fix it. I think if he completely bans sugary drinks and possibly supersized meals, I think that we'll be fine.
Yeah, that's gonna help everyone.
And
if you ask me,
he must be behind AOC. And hold on, I got too many things to push here. Oh, I gotta do that and then this. Because if she doesn't want cow farts, that means banning the meat, which again is going to help him because he doesn't want to have the meat either.
Right. Exactly. Well, who wants the meat? Yeah.
Damn it. I paused, didn't I?
Yeah, you hesitated. You can't hesitate in this business, Brad.
You know what I really want is MoJo Wild Rice.
Oh, man. I want that so bad.
I want it. I want it now. I want it now. If you go to MoJoWildRice.com, you will find all of the fabulous treats from the Northwoods of Minnesota. And right now, apparently, they're going a little stir crazy up there. They've got cabin fever. So they have decided it's a giant, just kind of like the sale at MoJo 50. They've decided to give you 10% off everything in the store if you use the promo code SPRING10. Spring10. Springtime for Hitler and Germany. Yeah, it'll make you remember it, though, won't it? So if you use a promo code SPRING10 at MoJoWildRice.com, you will find everything from the beer jelly, which I still have not tried to put in my coffee, but I'm telling you that's coming. The day is coming that I'm putting some of the beer jelly in my coffee.
Beer jelly.
And the maple seed.
I think you should do it on air.
Why wouldn't it be good? You drink coffee if you had an English muffin and say some beer jelly on top of that, and then you took a drink of coffee. It's the same thing,
right? Well, prove it.
Well, in that case, I mean, why don't we just go full bore and put the English muffin, the beer jelly, and the coffee in a blender,
and then you just mix it all up, and then make yourself a breakfast smoothie.
Think about how less messy that would be in the car on the way to work.
You know, Brad, you might be onto something.
It's an English muffin smoothie.
A moofy.
MoJoWildRice.com. Use promo code SPRING10. Spring10. And get you some good stuff. Oh, Jussie Smollett update is coming up next. Yes. It's your Daily Mojo.
Happily promoting the 4 F's. Freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. MoJo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. Well, it wasn't even 2 weeks since Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said this.
There's scientific consensus that the lives of children are going to be very difficult, and it does lead, I think, young people to have a legitimate question. You know, is it okay to still have children? And I mean, not just financially, because people are graduating with $20,000, $30,000, $100,000 worth of student loan debt, and so they can't even afford to have kids in a house, but also just this basic moral question, like, what do we do?
What do? We don't listen to you. But you know what? There are a group of women who are listening to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and they're freaking out. And they've decided they're not going to have babies because of climate change. I'm not making this up. There's even a Facebook group called Birth Strike, and it is women in childbearing years who have decided they're going to take a pledge or make a promise that they will not have babies because they're fearful of what the kids will face in the next 12 years. Currently, the Birth Strike movement has at least 90 people signed up. So those of you who say AOC's not a problem, yeah, she's a problem because there are people dumber than her that listen to her. Testudo, my friend. Testudo.
Mike Opelka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
All right, we're getting high. In other words, we're headed to 35,000 feet. Timmy the pilot is on the line, and you're flying an airplane right now as we speak?
No, the computer's flying the airplane. I don't do squat. All I do is
See, that's the thing. How come he gets to use his cell phone at 35,000 feet
Right.
a weekend?
Yeah, real quick. That's all horse
because
crap.
I'm going to a satellite right now. So the satellite's up at 24,000 miles, and it shoots it back down to you guys.
All right, but seriously, when they tell us when they tell us we have to turn off our cell phones, it's not going to screw up the plane if we don't, is it?
No, actually,
I knew it.
Don't tell anybody.
Sons of bitches!
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody I said that. Okay.
All right.
Hey, I want to add a little bit of frosting to the pot here. I got a challenge for anybody.
Okay.
I was just telling Ron that if somebody bids 600, I will match that 600.
Okay. So 600 if they bid 600 on the Doc Thompson's Bacon Blast in the hat, you'll match the 600.
That's exactly right. So it'll go to 1,200, but I also have a little stipulation where I would like it to go to Doc Thompson's, one of his favorite charities, which is Matthew 25 Ministries, because they're doing awesome work down in the tornado area down there, all the victims down south that went through that tornado.
Cool.
They've lost about 23 lives, but it's up to you guys whether or not you want to do that. We can talk about that later or whatever to find out where the money goes to, but that's my challenge right now. If somebody bids 600, I will match it today.
I was thinking.
So it will go to 12.
I was thinking hookers and I was thinking hookers and blow,
Well,
but that's just me.
I was going to say our cocaine stores are running a little low here.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too, but I technically can't say that right now because I have people listening to me sitting right next to me.
Right.
We're in a hot game of Uno right now. So.
What the hell are you pilots doing?
Do you have passengers on this plane that you're flying right now?
I have two passengers. Well, my first officer is sitting over there, like, flipping me the bird right now, and then we have a load master that makes sure everything's buckled down so we don't
he flies
crash.
cargo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How do you know there's not a body in the cargo?
Yeah.
By the way, Loadmaster's
Well, actually, we have
a great name.
Actually, we have 250,000 pounds of chicken lips that we're taking down to Fort Worth right now. So you guys load you up on chicken lips.
Wow.
I love it.
I don't know if you've ever had deep, but they're pretty damn good. So.
That's what I've heard.
Anyway,
I tell you, that call from 35,000 feet is actually really clear.
It's not bad at all.
And it's pretty quick, too, if it's going to satellite and back.
All right, Timmy the pilot, thanks for calling. We appreciate it. And fly safe in the meantime, buddy. All right.
Thank you. All
right, take
care.
That's sorry, a little quick on the finger there. But all right, so Timmy said that the bid goes to 600 on the coffee in the hat. He will match it. We'll talk about where the money's going at a later time.
Yeah.
Our Jussie Smollett update, which we
I need this so bad.
Do we have we don't really have a Jussie Smollett update theme.
Jussie Smollett update.
That'll work. Dozens of Northwestern hospital workers have been fired for improperly reviewing Jussie Smollett records, according to sources there.
Oh.
This apparently happened yesterday. The CBS station up there says that dozens of workers there may have been fired for improperly reviewing the medical records. Sources say those workers have been terminated after gaining access to the Empire actor's medical chart. He has been charged with staging the entire incident, as you know. One of the nurses says it was a misunderstanding and claims she never even accessed his chart. But she was fired last week, believes that many other nurses and staffers were fired for the same reason.
Wow.
She was called in at the end of her shift last Tuesday, fired on the spot, escorted out of the hospital.
Wow. I've been there before.
Yeah. I thought that only happened in radio.
Yeah.
She says she wasn't asked any questions, never had a chance to offer an explanation, and she says she never accessed the actor's chart, but simply scrolled past it when looking for another patient's name.
Man, they reacted a little. I feel like it's a little overreaction.
A little bit.
Do they have?
Here's what I'll bet you happened. They got a little letter from Mr. Smollett's attorney, or a visit from his attorney.
His attorney. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm a little lost on it though, because I mean, like, do they have absolute proof that she studied it? Like
no, she's saying that that someone else asked her to look it up, and that she did a search, and that his name came up in a list, but she never actually clicked on the file.
Okay, so they have no. Yeah, that's okay.
So that'd be a no as far.
Then
I mean,
that's very interesting that they did that.
If she's telling the truth,
she just straight up got fired based off of a suspicion. They have no proof that she did it.
But that's how absolutely terrified this hospital is of being drug into this lawsuit.
Yeah.
They're not. They would sooner fire 24 people or however many. That says dozens, so I'm assuming it's at least that many.
Yeah.
Than even have it be a question as to whether
what
or not.
are they hiding? That's what
probably nothing. I mean, they. How would they? By the time. At the time of his admission into the hospital, if in fact they did treat him, I'm assuming that they would have just made the usual notes.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're right.
Because that's a big reaction to something they can't prove.
What if the doctor or somebody there, this is pure speculation, the best kind, wrote something like, this doesn't appear to be the result of an attack, or
or there's something else going
He
on.
came in and said he had a toothache.
Maybe he's getting given something from the hospital that they don't want. They don't want the
some
public
yum
finding
yummies.
out about. Yeah.
Some goodies.
Yeah. I think that maybe they don't want Smollett and this hospital linked in that way. That's something to think about.
Yeah.
Something to think about. By the way, Big Poppy has been he put this on Twitter and he put this on MeWe.
Yeah.
He said, "What I learned today, despite the skinny jeans and baby beard, Brandon Morse is okay-ish, kinda, sorta." Thanks, Big
I like
Papa.
okay-ish. I'll take okay-ish.
Thanks. You are kind of an okay-ish, kinda, sorta fan. Dick.
Yeah, that's high praise from the Jackal Nation. High praise.
I'm just kidding, buddy. I love you.
Here's one that'll give you the creeps. Spider silk has been spun into everything from violin strings and electrical wires. Now they are talking about turning spider webs into artificial muscles.
That makes a lot of sense,
It
actually.
does actually make a lot of sense.
Because you got to think, man, that is some hardcore stuff.
It's some strong. It is. I mean, that's
webs are no joke.
They you ever run into a spider web and you do the whole
the dance.
But if yes,
that's true. Dance,
Yes, that's exactly it. But if somebody's looking at you from like across the street and they can't see the spider web, it looks like you just went into convulsions.
Or like you're fighting ghosts.
Yeah, it's something in the air. God, spider.
You become like a karate expert, like a ninja expert.
Spiders
with at least a green level belt and karate type of like kung fu expert whenever you walk into a spider web. Like
I just picture a bunch of people taking spiders and going squirting that crap into a.
How do you milk a spider?
How do you milk a spider?
I'm here to apply for the spider milking job. I don't know.
Do you have any previous experience milking insects?
Milking insects or insects?
Yes.
Brandon, have you ever smelled mothballs?
I have not.
How do you keep their little feet apart?
No, you ruined the joke.
I didn't. He said
How do you get their little legs apart?
That's still funny. That's still funny. But you got to think, like, they were using silk for a while to, because silk is also, if you really break it down, like a really hardcore kind of material.
Right.
You know? It's not just, it doesn't just make comfy sheets, which, by the way, I never found silk comfortable in bed.
No,
form.
you slide off the damn
all
bed.
over the damn place.
Yeah, you
it's
end up
hot.
on the floor at the end of the bed.
Yeah, I never liked it. And I tried silk boxers one time. That just did not work out for me.
Right.
I think that if you're going to wear silk, it should be like an outerwear kind of thing, you know? But even then, very rarely. But, no, but I mean, silk is ridiculously strong too. But they said, like, you know, pound for pound, a spider web can hold.
Oh, it's like steel.
Yeah.
But they said if you exceed a certain level of dampness in the air, the fibers in a spider web suddenly contract and twist, exerting a similar amount of force as a machine component controlling a valve.
Wow.
They say it's a new phenomenon. This is a study they did at MIT, so you know it's got to be true, in their Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. Researchers previously discovered a property of spider silk called supercontraction.
Oh, that's what she said.
Sounds like fun. In which the fibers suddenly shrink in response to changes in moisture.
Yeah,
that's a lot like a part of the male anatomy.
This, I guess if you follow one set of rules, another one has to follow the same set of rules.
Isn't that the truth? And then there was this. So that's the good news on the side of spiders. On the other side, and the other side being the nightmarish side of spiders, if you are currently watching the feed in Facebook or in Periscope, just take a look at this. This is a spider. This is a team of researchers somewhere in the jungle, and they found a spider large enough to eat. I think it was a possum.
Oh, good.
We were doing a
I'm so
standard
glad.
transect. We were just walking the trails. We walked along slowly, and we heard scrabbling in the leaf litter. And we looked over, and we saw the tarantula on top of the possum, and we just sort of sat and watched.
Oh my God!
Okay, I want to pause that there because he just said we found a tarantula on top of a possum. That This thing, and I don't know if this is a baby possum. It doesn't look to be.
It looks like a rat, really.
Yeah. Okay, let's say it's the size of a rat because there's some leaves on the ground around it. And if it's the size of a rat, it's probably the size of maybe an adult male's hand, right?
Yeah.
The spider is bigger than that. And it's a tarantula.
Oh, my God.
Tarantula got tired of us and walked away. The tarantula is about the size of a dinner plate. We see big spiders a lot when we're out at night. When we see them eating something, it's usually a large katydid or a small frog. So finding...
Okay. Again, he just said the tarantula was the size of a dinner plate.
Yeah.
Think about a spider. Oh.
You know, it's not
as large as a dinner plate.
Weirdly, though, it's not the bigger spiders that bother me. It's not, because they're the ones who are least likely to attack you.
Yeah, but if they decide to attack you, damn.
Yeah, well, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. But
it's gonna hurt bad.
I know a lot of people who actually ended up they keep those huge spiders as pets.
I used to have a pet tarantula.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, when I was in like 7th, 8th grade.
That said, let's say that you're out in the middle of the jungle and like you're just kind of sleeping. You know, like you do. Cause I don't know why you would be
sleeping in the middle of the jungle.
Let's say that, you know, through a series of unfortunate events, you wind up in the jungle and you're asleep, and then suddenly you wake up.
Okay.
You wake up and you just feel that, like, those legs on your back moving around.
See, okay, so with the spider, I didn't buy it by choice. My sister-in-law at the time gave it to me as a birthday present, I think. And this thing, tarantulas are weird.
Yeah.
They're like little animals. But you can't drop them because they pop.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful. They're
really?
Yeah, if you drop them onto a hard surface, they're ugh.
Oh, Stephen English, why did you just tweet that?
What did he tweet?
It's a picture of a woman just staring at it's like a blonde woman in a hat staring at this camera. And then a spider just crawls out of her mouth. It's cool.
Oh, jeez. All right, so yeah, spiders. So one day this spider, I look in the cage and the spider hasn't moved. And my dad was like, hey, I think the spider's dead. We're going to throw it away, whatever. It turned out the thing was molting.
Oh.
So I was crawling out of its own skin. That is just,
that's unnatural.
That is the stuff.
As natural as it is.
Of nightmares.
Yeah.
That is just.
Why would anyone want to like that? Imagine that coming out of imagine that spider molting.
Imagine if people did that.
We technically do. We just do it.
We do it in pieces, though.
We do it in small, tiny pieces,
and that's what ends up in your bed.
Yeah,
over the course of
exactly
over the course
your
of time.
mattress collects it and doubles in weight over time. That's disgusting when you really think about it.
That is indeed the stuff of nightmares, and that's actually why I brought this up, because I'm assuming that's our guest on the telephone there. Good deal. His name is Dr. Michael Bruce. He is an expert in sleep. He's done a lot of I guess he's like good friends with Dr. Oz. He's been on his show for like 40 times. So as soon as Ron is done, can we talk to him? Here we go. Dr. Michael Bruce, a sleep expert, something that I would love to know more about. And here we are. Dr. Michael Bruce, sir, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. We were just discussing a video of a giant tarantula, the stuff of nightmares. It was a tarantula the size of a dinner plate that was eating possum, in the Amazon. And we were discussing what a nasty nightmare that would be if you were having dreams about such things. You, sir, are a sleep expert, and you are coming to us live from the first ever National Sleep Foundation's sleep show.
There's a sleep show?
There is now.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. So I'm here in Houston, and this is the National Sleep Foundation's sleep show. And what that means is these are consumer products or new innovations in the sleep space that consumers can now benefit from because the products are now readily available. And I'd love to tell you about some of the cool new stuff we've got down here.
Please do. Please do.
So the first product that I really was pretty impressed with is called the Snoo, S-N-O-O. So this is actually a bassinet, a smart bassinet for parents. So if you've got a child between 0 and 6 months old who's having a difficult time falling asleep or staying asleep, this is the product for you. So it actually has a sleep sack that you put the child in, which puts them in a safe sleep position, and then it mimics the womb by having motion and womb-like sounds that are surrounding the child. So it actually helps children fall asleep faster and have fewer awakenings throughout the night. And I know lots of parents out there would love to have that type of thing going on for them. Believe it or not, you can just rent the bassinet if you wanted to, or you can actually purchase it. The next one, which I find fascinating, is called the sleep robot. So at first I was pretty skeptical about this thing, but it looks like a great big jelly bean. And so you hold on to it as though you were holding on to a teddy bear. And when you put your hand on it, it will mimic your breathing, and then it will slowly start to decrease the rate or speed of your breathing. And this will actually help lower your heart rate and help you get into sleep a lot faster. So this is a very...
I think I've seen that before. Is that, how new is that? Is that...
It's fairly, I think it's been out for about a year or so. You know, it's kind of amazing. Like, at first I was like, sleep robot, what are you talking about? But once I picked it up and I started playing around with it, it actually is pretty impressive at how well it works, and it's very calming for people. So I think it's been in the press quite a bit.
Okay, so it actually you end up following it. At first, it follows you, and then you kind of follow its cue, and your breathing and everything slows down.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. The next one is by Philips, and it's called the Smart Sleep Deep Sleep Headband. Now, this is fascinating technology. So this is something that comes out of some of the laboratories at Northeastern, and so you wear this headband while you're sleeping, and it sends a signal into your brain to enhance your deep sleep. So what this is a sleep quality improvement device. So for people out there who wake up and say, gosh, I wake up and I don't feel rested, I don't feel like I got great quality sleep, this is a very innovative, very interesting, very new product out by Philips. And for folks who don't know Philips, Philips is one of the largest healthcare companies in the world, and they do a tremendous amount of clinical trial work on all of their stuff. So we know there's real good science behind this one in particular.
Aren't they the same company that makes the light bulbs?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Same company that makes the light bulbs.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
All right.
The next product is one of my personal favorites. I travel all around the country, all around the world, and so, you know, when you do that, you suffer from jet lag. And so this is one of my favorite products. It's called Time Shifter. So if people go to timeshifter.com, and then they do a /The Sleep Doctor, you can actually download this app for free. And what's cool about this is it actually gives you a plan for what to do. Well, not exactly time traveling, but what it does is it actually helps you with jet lag. So it'll give you a plan of when to use caffeine, light, napping, and melatonin at very specific times. I used this when I took a flight from Los Angeles to Singapore this past.
Did we lose him?
Oh, no.
Did we lose him?
No.
No, I can hear you guys.
There you are.
Okay.
You went away for a second. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, you were dropped off there in the middle of it.
So jet lag, so timeshifter.com is what I was talking about, and you use caffeine, light, napping, and melatonin in a very particular order depending upon your direction of travel and what's going on for you, and it gets rid of jet lag. It's pretty amazing.
Let me ask you this, Doctor. Let me ask you a question, and I know you got some more things to tell us about there, but why, first of all, the fact that there is a national sleep show basically indicates there's a problem in this country with people sleeping. There is. So it's a fairly, when I feel like I'm exhausted all the time, I'm not alone in this. Is that what you're saying?
I would argue that roughly 1/3 of the United States at any given time has got significant sleep problems, whether that's difficulties falling asleep, difficulties staying asleep, having restless sleep, waking up in the mornings and not feeling like you're feeling refreshed. I mean, honestly, if you just ask around even your control room or, you know, folks at work, you'll be surprised at how many people tell you, oh, gosh, I really don't sleep that well.
I thought they were just whiny bitches, but I guess not. And is this something that's been going on? I mean, it just seems like maybe in the past, I don't know, a couple of decades that this seems to have been a problem. And is there a reason for that?
Well, you know, there's a lot of reasons for it. I would argue that, you know, when that brilliant inventor Thomas Edison gave us the light bulb, he pretty much changed sleep forever, because now we could work at night when we used to not be able to, and that changed everybody's schedules quite a bit. But I think you're absolutely right. We're really starting to see some of the sleep problems that have come up have really seemed to have cropped up within the last 2 to 3 decades, and now we're starting to find solutions that can help us with that as well. So
I love it.
I would agree with you.
All right.
One of the next things, temperature turns out to be a big deal for a lot of people. And
Yes.
so there's one called the Chili Pad.
It is
So
for
this
me.
one is really amazing. I actually used this one in my house before, and it's a pad that goes underneath your sheets, and you can make one side hot and one side cold. You can make both sides cool, both sides warm. So for people who are suffering from night sweats or things like that, this could be a really fun and very helpful product.
I actually slept
the
on
next
one of those before, believe it or not, or
Oh,
something
have you?
like it.
Well,
yeah,
well,
it's
yeah, well-
a friend of mine. I got to experience the whole sleeping on the cool part of the mattress incessantly thing, you know, and I got to say it was pretty awesome.
So those work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Good deal.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. Oh, yeah. The real data behind them, that's for sure. Another product that I really like is a weighted blanket. So you might have seen these. They're being advertised quite a bit on the internet these days. Weighted blankets.
They hug you. Yeah,
really,
which sounds
Yep,
weird, but it
exactly.
actually works, right?
Yeah, so this is not necessarily new technology. This is something that we've seen in the autism community and in the anxiety community for years. It is new to the sleep universe. So recently a research study came out showing that weighted blankets were helpful for people with insomnia, and so then everybody started to kind of get on the bandwagon. This blanket that we've got down here is available at Bed Bath & Beyond, and one of the things that I like about weighted blankets is if you find the right weight for you, which seems to be about 12 pounds is a good starting weighted blanket for people, it can be very, very effective. For really what's fascinating is the number one complaint that I hear in my office is I can't turn off my brain at night. That's really a form of anxiety, and we find that these weighted blankets, when we wrap people up, it's almost like they get a big old hug, and then they can relax and start to fall asleep, which is pretty cool.
That is cool. I love it.
Does it get very warm? Have you been able to?
So that's the right question to ask, and there's some of them that do get warm. So one of my recommendations for my patients is that when they actually put this on top of their normal bedding, that they actually have their feet come out so that their feet are exposed to the air, because that way they can kind of release the heat that way, and that seems to kind of
but that's how
counterbalance what's going on.
That's how
putting your feet out is how the monsters get you.
Right,
though.
exactly. Yeah, the monsters under your bed.
You were talking about tarantulas when we started,
Yes.
so I had to throw that in there for sure.
I've always used my leg as a thermostat. My
have you
leg,
really?
I hang my leg out
Absolutely.
the side of the bed, and that's what. So if it's cold or hot underneath the covers, my leg seems to even out the temperature.
See, I still maintain sleep habits from back when I was a kid. You know, because
you pee the bed.
Well, maybe, but just like I will have my. I'm so used to having my covers over my neck. You know, because that's where the vampires eat you.
Absolutely.
That's where they bite you. So you got to have that over there. You know,
I
my
love
feet
it.
are inside because that's where the monsters grab you.
Yes,
and I've maintained these habits throughout. So I feel like completely exposed if I have any part of my body sticking out.
We need to get you some therapy,
Yeah,
Brandon.
so we can. Yeah, I was just going to mention I do therapy on the side, so it sounds like you could use a little. So maybe we'll talk afterwards.
Oh, you're
about,
working with the monster community. I know you are.
So, doctor, you got any other products that'll help us?
I do.
All right.
I do. There's a couple others that I want to show you. So one of them is called the REST, R-E-S-T, Responsive Surface Technology. So this is actually a bed that you sleep in. What's so fascinating about this is, you know how you see on television that they have beds that have got air in them that can inflate and deflate as the pressure builds, changes throughout the night? The unfortunate thing is almost all of those, you have to wake up and grab a remote control and change it. This REST bed technology does it all for you in the middle of the night. You never have to wake up, and that's what's so cool about it, is actually raises and lowers the firmness level as your body needs it, so it can actually tell when your body is getting tense because of a pressure buildup, and then it will release that air. So this is a very innovative tech. I've been following this company for quite some time, and they're really the best in the business when it comes to the air responsiveness of it all.
They use those in hospitals a lot.
They can, absolutely. So in burn victims, we see this type of technology quite a bit because you can't really have any pressure on the skin after a burn.
Right.
But you know, as we all get older, we have less subcutaneous fat underneath our skin, and so our bodies become more sensitive to the surfaces on which we sleep. And so this is a great product for people as they get into their 40s, 50s, and 60s, or, for example, like I've got low back pain. This is a great product for somebody like me because it eases that pressure but also still gives that level of support, which I'm going to require throughout the night.
Right.
It's pretty amazing.
Cool.
Another one, this one's called the H bed. So this one is, again, a temperature type of product. But what's so fascinating about this one is it actually monitors what your current body temperature is, and then will adapt as your body temperature gets lower. It keeps that body temperature going in the lower direction. Then it knows when the body temperature needs to rise, and it then actually helps your body temperature rise. So again, another smart type of feature, primarily focused around temperature.
That's that's a big deal for successful or restful sleep, isn't it? Your body temperature really regulates how long you end up sleeping. If you get too hot in the middle of the night, you end up waking up, and it disturbs the whole cycle. Am I right?
One of my biggest problems sleeping is it all revolves around temperature.
Yeah, temperature and the and darkness. It has to be really, really dark.
Well, and you've hit the two biggest topics that are important for people out there to understand about sleep. So what many people don't know is that your sleep cycle follows your core body temperature cycle. So they're in direct relationship to one another. So if you get too hot, you just don't sleep. If you get too cold, you just don't sleep. So you really kind of have to Goldilocks it in there. And that's why people a lot of times are hanging their foot out of the side of the bed and things like that. And then light, of course, is a major factor in turning on or off the melatonin faucet in your brain. And so for folks who don't remember, melatonin is kind of that key that starts the engine for sleep. And so we've got to have that on board. So if we have the right temperature and the right level of darkness, those are two of the biggest factors to help a person not only fall asleep, but stay asleep.
I love it. Doctor, where can people find a link to all of these products? Do you have them on your website, or are they on the Sleep Show's website?
Yep. Absolutely. If people go to sleepshow.org, then what they'll discover is all of these products are there with great descriptions of them, and people will learn a whole lot. So if you check that out, or if you just go to the National Sleep Foundation's website, there's some amazing information there on sleep tips and things like that to help people as well.
All right, and we'll tweet a link to that out as well. Doctor, I'd love to have you back on at some point in the near future to discuss even more, because I think this is a huge problem in the country. So I'm hoping you have some time in the future as well.
I'd love to do it.
Cool. All right.
Absolutely.
Dr. Michael Bruce, he is a sleep expert, and we certainly appreciate you coming on the show this morning. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You bet. By the way, this entire and food, but don't eat a big meal before you go to sleep. That will screw it up too. If you find yourself doing that, go to lovemytummy.com. That's where you'll find Atron Teal if you feel bloated, nasty, and even ugly after you eat. I don't think it can do anything about the ugly, but it can actually help you with the bloating and the uncomfortable, nasty feeling. If you go to lovemytummy.com, you'll find a special deal, lovemytummy.com/mojo, and get some good, restful sleep thanks to lovemytummy.com. We have your headlines and your Friday leftovers coming up next.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. One Democratic lawmaker's anti-Semitic remarks prompting House Democrats to pass a resolution condemning all forms of bigotry and hate. The resolution, rewritten not once or twice, but 3 times, does not censure the lawmaker who actually made the comments.
It's a very broad document condemning anti-Semitic and anti-Muslim language, white nationalism, racism, and oppression. In some parts, it reads like a lesson in recent history, talking about the Charlottesville March, the synagogue shootings in Pittsburgh, and death threats against members of Congress. The closest it gets to condemning Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is by talking about the insidiousness of anti-Semitic language and claims of dual loyalty.
Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines. 47 months in prison, the sentence for Paul Manafort, convicted of tax and bank fraud relating to his work advising Ukrainian politicians. Manafort worked for 3 months as a Trump campaign chairman back in 2016, but White House counselor Kellyanne Conway notes criminal cases against Manafort have nothing to do with President Trump or the White House. And speaking of the president, he's preparing to travel to tornado-battered eastern Alabama. He'll tour the extent of damage, meeting with state and local officials and with some of the victims later this morning. A top 10 fugitive. He was on the FBI's 10 most wanted list, just shy of 5 months. Has been captured.
I am proud to announce that after 147 days on the top 10 list, Lamont Stevenson was arrested this morning.
The FBI's Gregory Erie says Stevenson was wanted for killing his fiancée in New Jersey in 2014. Prosecutors say after that he killed another woman. He was arrested in the Maryland suburbs of Washington, D.C. Economists believe employers added at least 180,000 jobs last month. We'll find out for sure later this morning. The government releasing its February employment report. Wall Street, Dow futures down 128 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Hi, it's Doc Thompson for Matthew 25 Ministries. Matthew 25 Ministries is one of the few charities I'll actually endorse because I know them. I've worked with them, and I know almost all of the money that you donate goes to help people. Go to m25m.org, m25m.org.
A former Democratic National Committee member told Politico on Monday that he will become national senior advisor to the Draft Beto campaign. That sounds like a horrible beer, probably a Pilsner.
The Defenders with Stephen Airy, tonight at 9.
MoJo 50.
Hey guys, it's Ron Phillips with the Conservative Cartel. You know, everyone lives with a little bit of pain, but living with diabetes can be a real pain. While you may have to test your blood sugar and take insulin, ordering your testing supplies shouldn't be one more pain you have to deal with. At least it's not when you work with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to your home when you need them. Gone are the days of visiting multiple stores to find the right strips, waiting in long lines to purchase your supplies, or sorting through your insurance requirements to figure out what they cover. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive saves you time and money. Plus, they're pretty fun to work with, too. So why don't you give Diathrive a chance to show you there's a better way to manage your diabetes? They're so convinced that you'll love their service that they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code MATT, that's M-A-T-T, at checkout. Be sure to head out to the web right now and check these guys out. It's Diathrive.com.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape. I like to cuss. Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titties.
We wouldn't be so good. MoJo 50.
Mothership has landed.
Okay, let's stop with the damn spider pictures. What is wrong with you people?
Something is, yeah. I like that one with the spider coming out of the mouth, man, was a little too much for me.
And the one with, there's one of a spider coming. Oh, jeez, what is that? Izzo's penis tweeted, that is not real.
That's a weird.
This is a spider as big as a window on a house.
That is a weird looking poop.
Sorry, I didn't see that one. That's,
that's the one coming from the toilet, man. I just.
Spiders are I
can't find it now, but like one of our Jack Hole listeners said, spiders that large deserve to be shot. And my first thought was, I think that would just piss it off.
Well, yeah, it's true. Yeah, you want to make sure, if you're going to shoot it, make sure you shoot it with a very large caliber weapon.
The only way, no, I mean, the only way to really kill these things is just to nuke it from orbit.
Well, that would work too.
That's the only real way to know.
Oh, by the way, I cannot believe I've not said anything about this yet today. This is just, and I do apologize to the entire Jackhole Nation for not saying something about this prior to right now. It is International Women's Day.
Yes!
And as kind of a tribute to international, not just national, it's International Women's Day. I wanted to tell you the story, first of all, about Wiley Simpson.
I love international women, though.
Oh, I do too. You know what? It's the accent, the Australian accent. If a woman has an Australian accent, Isla Fisher, you know who she is?
Oh yeah.
I discovered last night
Didn't
she's
she
Australian.
marry Borat?
Yes!
What?
She's married to Sacha Baron Cohen!
I didn't know that he was. Who would marry this guy?
What the F
He's
is
probably a real nice guy
He probably
when he's
is.
not in his shtick.
Whatever.
But his shtick sucks.
Hang on. You'd never have to leave the house if that were the case. She is smoking hot.
What's her name?
Isla Fisher.
Isla Fisher?
Isla Fisher.
Yeah,
she was in
ISLA.
Arrested Development. She played...
I love Fisher, too.
She played Ron Howard's daughter. She played the
Rebel
Howard.
Rebel Howard. Yeah.
And,
yeah.
And she's in Tag. She plays one of the wives in Tag.
Yeah. She's freaking hysterical. She was in was it Wedding Crashers?
Yes.
The crazy girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, Wiley Simpson. As a tribute on International Women's Day, Wiley Simpson is 28 years old. Was surprised to discover that he was pregnant.
What?
Last year, while transitioning to becoming a man.
Oh.
It is the first child for Wiley and his fiance Stephen Gaith.
I like Goth.
Goth
is good.
They started having a and I put this on our Facebook page. There's a. Can you just for a second grab the screen there, Ron, if you don't mind? This is the picture of Wiley Simpson right there. Take a look up there. That is a.
That's just unfortunate for all of humanity.
That's a. That's a dude. That's a. I can't. It's a woman with a beard, but she's pregnant, or is it a guy who's pregnant with a beard?
Well, I want to say it's a it's like if you took a duster, strapped it across your chin, and then ate or drank a ton of beer. Like
yes, it does look like a beer gut, except it's a pregnant gut.
Right.
By the way, he has nipple rings. I'll just zoom in right there.
Yeah, let's go ahead and zoom in on those.
Those are
nips,
nipple studs.
Which, by the way, you can definitely see have had the fat taken out of them.
Wow. Okay, so anyway, you can take that off the screen.
That was a little more disturbing than the spider.
Yeah.
Give me the spider. Bring the spider back.
Wiley started testosterone in 2012. Didn't have a period for several years. Didn't believe it was possible to conceive. Because after all, he's a guy.
Well, what do you know?
Despite not feeling ready to welcome their first child and receiving judgment from strangers, the couple went through with the pregnancy. And by the way, when you see something like this, it is hard not to make some sort of a judgment call.
Right.
As a human being, it is not an everyday occurrence to look at someone with a beard and find out that they're pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just, so it's hard. I mean, again, it would be horrible to feel like you're not at home in your own body.
Right. Right.
Horrible.
Right. And I would never wish that on my worst enemy.
No.
Especially seeing as how that kind of like having gender dysphoria, which I mean, I don't care what they say, it's still a mental disorder. You know, it has a 41% suicide rate that goes up 19 times once you transition.
Well, it has to start in your brain.
Oh, of course it has to start in your brain.
Because your brain is what tells you, okay, I want to have the surgery for the rest of me. So
right.
But it would be horrible to feel that way.
Oh, it would be absolutely horrible to feel that way.
But the fact is, you can't help, as a human being, you cannot help but looking at that and having an opinion, making some sort of a judgment call on it. It is just strange.
No, it is strange, and but I mean, like, there's a reason that we as a species can make judgment calls on this and should make judgment calls on this. You know, not only is it hurtful and harmful to the population at large to actually encourage this kind of thing and talk about how great it is and stuff like that because of the depression that it brings with it and the suicide rate that it brings with that. But also, we as a biologically for the longest time differentiated, you know, who is healthy and who is not, and who is male and who is female. We treat each other based on that, based on looks.
Yes.
Based on looks. It is perfectly fine to make judgments based on looks. We are naturally, biologically wired to do so. And so I hate the fact that we get in trouble for looking at something like this and going, there's something not healthy about it. There's something wrong with it. Like we're in trouble for that. But we do this instinctually, naturally.
And the biggest problem is when, okay, let's say you run into Wiley Simpson at the door while he's pregnant.
Right.
Do you open the door for him?
Yeah.
Do you open the door for men?
No.
Okay, so he's pregnant, though. You're denying you wouldn't hold the door open for a pregnant woman?
My brain
See
hurts,
my
Brad.
dilemma?
My brain hurts right now,
my dilemma?
Brad.
That's what it leads to. It leads to confusion for the rest of us. We don't know whether to hold the door open or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say that just no matter, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to hold the door open.
I think it's nice. I think that's a good compromise.
I mean, I do hold open the door for men if they're passing through. Like if I'm just right there, I'm just kind of like, hey,
Right.
there you go.
Hey, dude, here you go. And then, hey, thank you.
There is kind of some stuff that I hate though. Like for instance, if a man is walking by,
Right.
and you're holding the door open for him,
right,
and he'll touch the door,
right.
Like I don't know why.
Yeah,
that's fine. I get
Well, he
it.
doesn't trust you. That's why.
Well, yeah,
He thinks
and
you're
you
gonna
know
slam
what?
the door
Fair
on
enough,
his
fair
heels.
enough. But for some odd reason, it bothers me when I'm holding open a door for a woman and they touch it. I'm like, I've got the door for you. What the hell?
Do you not want my help?
Is this
what you're trying to say?
Do you not want me to be gentleman? I can just walk away.
Uh-huh. Oh, I feel guilty if there's a woman 20
Oh, yeah,
feet
I feel
behind
whole-
me.
oh, yeah.
It's like, damn it, I got to stay here.
Yeah,
and hold
exactly.
The door
Now I
open.
got to, and then, but then they feel bad, so they do that little jog.
Yeah, they jog. Yeah.
Sorry,
Uh-huh.
thank you, and I'm like,
Yeah, I know. The world in which we live is a very strange.
very
place.
strange place.
It very, very much is. I think it's about time that we get into headlines here. So
Headlines!
let's start this bad boy.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's
Brandon
Steck.
Morse.
Oh, it's me.
It's you.
It's me.
Me.
All right, let's go ahead and get into these headlines because I've got some doozies for you.
I bet you do.
Remember, folks, one of these isn't real. I'm going to read you off a series of headlines. Most of them are real, but one of them is not. So let's get into it.
All right.
Man's second wife murders the third wife with the help of the first wife's daughter and boyfriend.
Damn, I need a scorecard for this. No one said there's going to be math.
Yeah, you write this down. You might
Okay.
need some help.
Yeah.
A 33-year-old woman and 3 others were arrested on Tuesday for allegedly murdering her husband's third wife. The other 3 arrested accused are the man's 2 daughters from his first marriage and one of the daughter's boyfriends.
So the newest wife got.
The newest wife is dead.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So the daughters of the first wife. Okay, got
Right.
it. All right.
From under direction of the second wife.
Whew. Boy, talk about vindictive.
Right. Whose dog is,
Yeah.
lovely singing voice. The main accused, Parvati Main, and Sushil Mishra's second wife.
Bitches.
According to police, Main conspired to murder the victim after Mishra started living with his new wife, stopped having physical relations with her, and supporting her financially.
Wow.
Said police. Police believe that 3 more may be involved. 3 more!
You know, it's hard to keep a secret. Once you share with one
Yep.
person that you're murdering somebody, it's really hard to keep the. Yeah,
Exactly.
everybody wants to help.
Everybody wants to get in on the murder.
It's understandable.
Here's the other one. Nickelback debate breaks out on House floor. Apparently, Dems and Republicans can't agree on that either.
Okay.
Yeah, House Republicans and Democrats have found one more thing to disagree on: Canadian rock band Nickelback.
Which, by the way, they got their name from.
Oh yeah.
It's the tipping of a nickel. It's like it's like a rude tip.
Oh, is it?
So you get a nickel.
You get a nickel back?
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
I was wondering. I've always wondered.
I may have made that up, or I may not have.
That might be the fake headline.
I just thought they were talking about the buffalo on the other side.
the buffalo would be on the front side of the nickel.
Okay, well, whatever's on the back side
Wouldn't
of the nickel.
Wait,
yeah,
no,
buffalo nickel. The buffalo's on the front side of the nickel. not on the back.
No. That would be the head because it's heads or tails. They say
Right,
heads or
so
tails
buffalo's
because
a
the
head.
heads are the no. But the head is what's his face?
Yeah, but they make
nickel?
buffalo nickels. But
Oh, buffalo nickel.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm learning something new every day.
Squirrel. Okay.
Reps.
It's okay. It's Friday.
Reps Randy Davis and Mark Pocan were debating a criminal justice amendment to end the practice of prison gerrymandering on Thursday. Pocan had cited that only 4 people out of 77,000 wanted to keep a particular provision in the body when the conversation shifted to the merits of the 6-time Grammy nomination group. Because why not? Who doesn't have a nickel back every time that happened?
Right.
That's probably about the percent of people who think Nickelback is their favorite band in this country. It's pretty low.
I like Nickelback.
Pocan said before seeing Davis's reaction. And I think if you look at Nickelback's your favorite band, I apologize to the gentleman. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nickelback has caused some fairly sizable arguments and disagreements.
It really
over the years,
has.
so.
It really has. It has been used in protest to signal, like, if the other group likes Nickelback, they say so, and, like, that's a big insult now.
Weird.
Don't talk to Dana Lash about Nickelback. She'll kill you.
And she has guns.
She has lots of guns and a hatred for Nickelback. Oh, man. Let's see. What else we got here? Oh, yeah. Barking drones used on farms instead of sheepdogs now. Barking drones.
On a farm. So instead of a dog, you have a drone. Okay.
A drone. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Apparently, now farmers are noticing that man's best friend is too expensive. All right, so they just get drones. Huh?
They eat a lot.
They eat a lot. That's true.
They poop everywhere.
Yep.
All right, so drones. Yeah.
So drones, like now they just instead of just getting dogs to do the job, they'll just have drones go out there. They bark like dogs, and the sheep are like, "Oh my god!" And then they.
One more time on that.
Oh my god.
RMU.
RMU.
Obscure X-Files reference.
That's right. But yeah, so that it's sad actually. I'm sad about this. But the latest drone developments come as more farmers have stated using the technology for work on the farm in recent years. Drone specialist from Christchurch-based DJI FernTech, Adam Kerr, what an ass, said the uptake in drones for agricultural uses has now made the National Agricultural Field Days in Hamilton one of the biggest events in the company's calendar. The past 2 years have seen farmers embrace drone technology to help with those jobs that are dirty, dangerous, and just plain dull. Corey Lambeth, a shepherd on a North Canterbury sheep and beef farm near Rotherham, said his drone had made work such as moving stock and checking water and feed levels more efficient. So basically, this farmer just sits on his freaking porch and just flies a drone around all day.
That's, typical farmer, bunch of lazy butts. They just sit there on the porch and don't do any work.
Yeah. What a freaking farmers, man.
Right.
Damn, farmers work way harder than we do.
Right. Yeah, that's what they want you to think. That whole up at dawn.
They get up at the crack of dawn to send their drones out.
Yeah, come on. They just sit around with a bunch of money and do anything.
What a bunch of assholes. All right. Let's see. Here's the limited edition russet potato comes with certificate of authenticity.
What, a potato with the COA?
That's right. It's a limited edition russet potato.
Okay.
Comes with certificate of authenticity. In an offer commemorating the legendary spring 2018 growing season, Wada Potato Farms released a limited edition of russet potatoes Friday, all of which will be accompanied by exclusive certificates of authenticity. Said we listened to our fans' complaints about all the counterfeit potatoes on the market. Apparently, there's counterfeit potatoes on the market. And we believe providing official proof of provenance will help the tuber collector establish that their potato is the genuine article without diminishing its value.
Wait, people collect potatoes?
Well, the thing is like in the farming community, if you send out a certain russet potato from a farm,
right?
That's like a big deal.
Send it off into the world?
Yes. That's like a big deal. Like, you want the standard grade A russet potatoes, but there is apparently a russet potato market out there where they try to pretend.
It's a black market for
I guess so. There's like a russet potato black market. But it's but I mean, like, anybody they'll buy anything so long as they make it.
It's a potato.
But think about it. Supreme sold a brick for like $1,000 and people, they sold out of the Supreme brick. If you make it sound, because it's like, this is like the Gucci of potatoes.
Create the need, I guess.
Yeah, this is
Makes
like
sense.
the Gucci of potatoes, and they want to make sure that it's coming from this specific farm.
Every time you say Gucci, I think of Blazing Saddles. So everything makes me think of Blazing Saddles.
Oh, here's the next one. Stray dog becomes first to conquer Himalayan summit after tagging along with climbing expedition.
Say, read that one more time. What? Say that.
Stray dog becomes the first to conquer Himalayan summit.
Oh, okay.
After tagging along with climbing expedition.
I don't know what I thought you said, but okay.
A stray dog befriended a mountaineering expedition and followed them to the top of a 23,389-foot Himalayan peak in what may be a canine first. A dog named Mara reached the top of the Barunse in Nepal without any assistance and was able to run once she had reached the summit. Sherpas accompanying the expedition said that they had never seen such a feat, and an organization that documents expeditions said the climb may be the highest recorded for a dog, according to the outdoor magazine Outside.
That's a good name, by the way, for an outdoor magazine. I mean, if you can't get the name outdoor, then outside. Yeah, that's a very good name. I think that they named that magazine quite well.
I think so, too.
It's like the radio magazine named Radio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good news for people in Utah.
They could use some.
Sex for unmarried people in Utah may soon be legalized.
Wait, hold on. It's okay, that would imply it's illegal. All right.
Right. With a stroke of a pen, sex for the unmarried in the Beehive State could soon be legalized.
Well, Utah's the Beehive State?
They call it the Beehive State. Utah's the Beehive State. I just thought it was like the Mormon state.
I didn't. Beehive. All right.
Wait, that is Utah, right?
It is Utah.
It is Utah.
Yeah.
A bill changing the criminal code in Utah may soon remove fornication as a Class B misdemeanor.
Yes, but fivecation will still be illegal.
Yes, exactly. Well, we don't want to go too far with this. We need to maintain moral integrity in our country. Sin Karen Maine is the chief sponsor, while Rep Ray Paul. What a name for
not to be confused with RuPaul.
Karen Maine and chief sponsor Rep Ray Paul Brad is the sponsor in the state's House. It has been voted on and passed by both bodies. I bet it has. Meaning it is only awaiting a signature by Gov. Gary Herbert. If it becomes law, it will remove the fornication clause from Utah's criminal code.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So congratulations, Utah. You may now have sex.
So is that all? Is that all five of them?
That's all five.
All right. So just quick recap.
Quick recap. Third wife killed by second wife with help of first wife's daughter and boyfriend.
Right.
Republicans and Democrats are now debating Nickelback on the House floor.
Right.
All right. The barking drones.
Yep.
With
All
those damn lazy farmers.
Yep.
The valuable russet potato.
Okay.
All right.
Sex in Utah.
And sex in Utah.
All right. And I'll have to admit this. I do not know which one today. I did not. I
have an idea.
All right, so.
Okay.
Well, let me tell you first about American Pride Roasters and their Brimstone Coffee Drops.
Oh, yeah.
French roasted coffee beans, cinnamon, dried habanero peppers. Sprinkled across your body.
Oh, yeah.
As you lay there on the ground.
Oh, this is illegal in
Mixed
Utah.
together. Yeah, you can't be doing this in Utah. You got to come to like California or Texas.
Oh, yeah.
The only reason I say California is you could do it on the beach. Finely ground, mixed together with melted milk chocolate and butterscotch to form the perfect mouth-tingling, bite-sized treat.
Oh, yeah.
You know you want it.
Oh, man.
Look how you're dressed.
There's no debate on the House floor about this.
Straight. American Pride Roasters and their Brimstone Coffee Drops. Get them right now at AmericanPrideRoasters.com. We're still waiting on ours to arrive, but that's okay, DM. Don't worry about it.
That's all right.
All right. Let's see here. I'm going to go with... I got to go with a russet potato.
Russet potato is your vote?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the barking drones.
Barking drones.
Because there's no need for a drone to bark. They're loud enough to scare the sheep as it is. And I can see them using the drones, but the barking part
wouldn't a bar... I mean, aren't sheep like... sheep aren't
and
scared
dogs are not that expensive.
They eat and they poop.
So do
you.
they do.
Right.
All right. Okay, Brandon.
Which one of us?
All right. The winner today is Brad.
Am I right?
Brad, it's the potato. The potato is the fake story.
Thank you.
They're barking drones.
Yes.
There are barking drones out there. Apparently, they are getting rid of the dog, man. They're moving into drones that bark and fool the sheep.
That is the craziest. I knew the Nickelback story was real. I heard it on the news this morning. And if you hear those guys bickering back and forth, it's hilarious.
Oh, I need to hear this.
Yeah, you need to hear
I
it.
absolutely need to hear this. Because
Damn straight.
I could
Fox News is carrying that this morning.
really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I got to tell you, because, I mean, I could argue about Nickelback. Here's the problem. I hate Nickelback myself. I can't stand them. But I have to recognize the fact that they are a super successful band.
Yes.
Who have won all sorts of awards.
They got more hits than we do.
They've got, well, that's true. That's true.
Just saying.
And they have a very loyal following. They sell out their shows. So, I mean, I can bitch about Nickelback all day long, but at the end of the day, really, they're doing better than I am.
All right, so those there are your headlines, and I won. What do I win, by the way?
My respect.
Speaking of International Women's Day, they have asked for women to send in their videos with the hashtag Balance for Better and hashtag I would do 2019. I would do. It is kind of funny. IWD looks like I would 2019. This is one of said videos that was sent into the contest. I don't know what the contest winner wins, probably much like what we win here for being the winner of headlines, but again, this is their little part of it. By the way, I like Iko.
My grandma's with your grandma. Let's get our girls inspired. Talking about hey now,
hey now,
hey now,
hey now.
Michael one day. Giacomofina anane, Giacomofina ne.
And then we get into her rap.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to say
Break it
that
down.
balance is better for the world today. We want to talk action and equal pay. We want both genders here to stay. We will not breed new hate, hate, hate. We will not emasculate, late, late. Our scales must hold equal weight. Our kids must have equal fates. No to misogyny, it's not all right. We will not smile or be polite. No more predators, no more fright. No more hurt, just stop this fight.
My grandma and your grandma were sitting by the fire.
Hey!
My grandma's with your grandma. Let's get our girls inspired. Talking about hey now,
hey now,
hey now,
hey now.
Michael one day. Giacomofina anane, Giacomofina ne.
She's in the family way, but she's afraid to say new job starts Monday, no time to get away. Boss is in the cafe, says what she must say. Boss turns very gray, smiles in that fake way. Then he comes unstuck, acts like a big schmuck. Said it's just bad luck, kids make travel suck. Our girl is awestruck, thinks he's a dumb yuck. History is then struck, she's like a sitting duck. She lost, they lost, the whole entire trade lost. The team lost a new voice, the people lost their free choice. Morale's at an all-time low. Sales stuck and will not grow.
My grandma and your
All right, so that's all we got time for right there. We'll post a link to that particular song, and if you want to send in yours, you could win some sort of prize from the International Women's Day Foundation. All of this brought to you, of course, by catcoolers.com. Don't forget, get your cat cooler today at catcooler.com. If you use promo code Brandon, you'll get 10% off your cat cooler. And these things are bad to the bone.
Be a cool cat, get a cat cooler.
Oh, I like that.
Hashtag awesome.
That's nice. Catcoolers.com. You can get them in one of four colors: white, black, yellow, and camo. I don't recommend the camo. You end up losing it in the middle of the Amazon rainforest. Catcoolers.com. Promo code Brandon. 10% off your Friday leftovers. They're coming up next on This Your Daily Mojo.
A free exchange of ideas. Mojo 50.
The buying and selling of aborted baby parts is a lucrative business, but are you aware of who's involved and what's done with these baby parts? Let me explain. Scientists at the University of California at San Francisco have been creating, quote, humanized mice with the help of grafts of human, fetal, liver, and thymus tissues. And who is UCSF contracting with in order to produce these humanized mice? It might surprise you to know that the university has a contract with the Federal Department of Health and Human Services. HHS cites a 1993 federal statute that allows the research to be conducted. Such tissue harvesting takes place typically in babies who reach 20 to 24 weeks in gestational age. According to reports from the Mayo Clinic, unborn babies at 18 weeks gestation are able to hear and roll over and flip. Also at 24 weeks, they have a survival rate surpassing 50% if they receive medical care upon birth. Aborted babies of a later gestational age are also utilized in medical research, but fetal tissue research brings in big dollars. According to the National Institutes of Health, federal funding of fetal tissue research is at the level of $78 million for fiscal year 2018. The figure will jump to $95 million for the following fiscal year. UCSF recently entered into its second 90-day extension of its contract with HHS. The 3-month extension is worth more than $500,000. Reportedly, this translates into over $10.5 million that the federal government has paid UCSF to date for research conducted on aborted babies. And that's today's reality check with Susan Knowles.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-452-1075. 800-452-1075. That's 800-452-1075.
The Daily Mojo.
Even their phone number is easy to remember. By the way, if you are presenting the Green New Deal to your country, and Senator Mazie Hirono of Hawaii says that it's crazy,
then you're done.
You're hashtag doing it wrong.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, that's what Senator Hirono has come out and said that it's a crazy thing. Green New Deal stands for recognition that climate change is happening, not sticking our head in the sand, she said.
Man, that's a very surprising turn of events because I kind of considered her one of the crazier ones.
Yeah,
because she is
huge
bonkers.
Taint. Huge taint. Yeah. Did you remember that when she said that Brett Kavanaugh had a huge taint?
Oh, he did.
When he came out. So I mean, she knows.
I love the gaffes of the Democratic Party. We're going to run train on the huge taint.
Right. Well, there's that. The worst places for retirement, according to a retirement advisor. The top 5: Stockton, California.
Oh no.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh no.
Warwick, Rhode Island.
That makes sense.
Bridgeport, Connecticut. Yeah, and the number 1 worst place to retire, Newark, New Jersey.
New Jersey wins last again.
I've been in Newark. It's not bad. So if you want to actually have the money to retire where you want to retire, I recommend Era Capital Management.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not planning today, you're too late. Start planning your retirement today. You need to act right now, this very second. If you're driving, pull over, call Era Capital Management and talk to them about planning for a successful retirement. By successful, I mean you have enough money you have enough money to last. You don't outlive your money. That's something you don't want to do.
I don't want to do that.
See, Doc did it right. He did not outlive his money.
What a smart guy.
See? It's your life, your era. Invest in it, for crying out loud. Era Capital Management, LLC is a registered investment advisor. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss, and visit eracapitalmanagement.com. You can call them at 509-559-6229. Remember, that's 509-559-6229. Easy to remember if you just remember it that way.
Yeah.
But Jake and the folks there at Era Capital Management.
And now, Doc Thompson presents the Friday Leftovers.
These are the great stories we didn't get to earlier in the week, so we will get to them now. A man in a 4-door Pontiac drove through the drive-thru of a Port St. Lucie McDonald's and ordered food. He then offered the worker some marijuana as a form of payment. The McDonald's worker refused that sort of payment.
What?
Well, they eventually called the cops, so you got to tell him you refused.
Okay.
Probably refused payment.
What an idiot.
The man drove off. Police were informed. Police took down the description of the man, the car, and then they were wrapping things up, filling out the report, sitting in their car. When the same 4-door Pontiac drove through McDonald's again, ordered and offered to exchange pot for the food.
Wow. It's like he was stoned or something.
And wasn't I going to go through McDonald's and get food?
Dude, they never gave us our food.
That's what it is. Yeah, go back. Hey, you never gave us our food.
We don't. How'd they have any pot left to pay the second time?
All right. Well, they pulled the car over, and you'll never guess. When they rolled down the window.
Let me guess.
Yeah.
Did they smell pot?
Yeah.
No way.
But the smell was not just a smell. It was actually in smoke form.
They Cheech and Chonged them.
Yes. They rolled up. Is there a problem, officer? Then the police searched the car, and guess what they found?
You're not going to tell me they found marijuana.
They found pot. They absolutely did. The 23-year-old driver, Anthony Gallagher, was arrested on charges of possession.
Stupidity.
Pro criminal tip number 1324, pot is not considered legal tender at McDonald's.
Well, and I would also say there's no food at McDonald's worth trading pot for.
Sadly, you're probably right.
Just saying.
That could be a hell of a business model, though.
Yes. Believe me, it's happening. It'll come soon.
Well, we've had the stories where people sell drugs through the window, which is another great business model.
Yes.
Which is what I think they're doing at, actually, that makes the most sense for McDonald's, the fact that it's still around. Because it's not good.
The McRib.
Oh, please, stop.
It's not bad. It's not horrible.
You drive down the street, and there's a Wendy's, a Jack in the Box, a Chick-fil-A, a Culver's, a Burger King.
The hell's Culver's?
It's fantastic is what it is.
Okay.
All of those are there.
Every option.
All right.
Are you going to McDonald's even knowing it has a McRib?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
How far down that list? It's pretty much the last one on there, isn't it?
Yeah, I get the Wendy's hot and juicy. I'd get the BK burger.
Have you
before
had
that.
the bacon? You've not been to Culver's?
I've never been. I don't even know what. No, I haven't.
There's one here in Texas, in Dallas area.
There is?
By the Colony, I think.
Culver's.
Oh,
Right.
they've also got ice cream or frozen custard, one of the two. Culver's is legit.
Culver's. All
Oh,
right.
my gosh, yeah.
I'll take your word
It's
for
a Midwestern thing. I've had them in Michigan, out in Iowa. I think it is Missouri. Anyways,
right.
they're awesome. Culver's. I don't know why people like the Brahms, though, but that's a whole different thing.
That's
Anyways,
ice
let's move
cream.
on. Yeah, but they also have burgers and it's whatever. A conservation officer from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources responded to a car hitting and killing a deer. While talking to the driver who hit the deer, he was approached by a second motorist who pulled over and wanted to know if he could take the deer's carcass.
Fair enough. Why let it go to waste?
The officer said, yeah, you can have it, but you have to wait until we finish up with the driver here. So he waited. Waited. Finally, after some time, they cleared the rest of the accident. The officer approached that driver who asked for the deer. The guy was patiently waiting. And upon the conversation, the police officer discovered that the driver did not have a valid driver's license and had been convicted 3 times prior and had 3 outstanding arrest warrants.
He was a gift that kept on giving.
Yep.
Yeah, all day.
He was arrested.
Shocking.
See, here's the thing. If you know you have arrest warrants, you want to avoid any interaction with police officers.
I mean, isn't there? There's no situation you would.
No, you don't want to. Because there's always a chance they will ask you questions that lead to, can you show me some identification?
Yeah, there's that.
And you're driving a car. If it's your car and is registered in your name and you've got the plates and he runs the plates, which they often do, going to find out it's you as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. There are a significant number of stories that I come across where people that are wanted, various degrees of crimes, right? Serious, less serious, whatever, but purposely interact with cops.
What, for the thrill?
I don't know if it's a thrill
must
or
be the adrenaline rush.
But I don't even think it's that significant. I just think they
are stupid.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
They're just stupid.
You ever had a warrant out for your arrest?
Family members.
Family members have?
Mm-hmm.
I did one time, I believe. Yeah, one time.
I don't think I ever have had one of.
And it was an expired plate.
You are such a hardened criminal.
I know, right? I had an expired plate that, get this, I went and got the new plates, and I thought the officer said, hey, you get the plates, and we throw the ticket out, basically.
Right. No.
Which they actually would have. But you have to go through the steps necessary.
Yes, yeah.
I just thought the computers are all connected. I got the new plates. It should just automatic ding them. No. I didn't take care of it. And do you know how much it is for a warrant? What the charge is?
$20, same as downtown?
No.
More?
I had no wonder people are like, listen, when you start down that path where you get in the system, it is so hard to get out.
Yes.
It's like $500 or $300 for a warrant on top of everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. The fact that you would think that they would have an efficient system which would clear up the warrant.
That's on me. I should have known.
So precious.
I was like, crap. All right, I'll just go ahead and take care. I get the plate. So what was the ticket? It was like $80 and then court costs and a fine. Great. But the warrant was $400. Wait, I got to pay you $600? It was $500.
It's a scam.
That's all right, moving on. Robbers in the United Kingdom tried to blow up a cash machine to get the money out and instead blew themselves up.
That's always funny.
I found a statistic. What percentage of people that try to get money out of an ATM, serious, I mean, like hardened criminals or attack the machine, actually get the money?
I would say very few.
It's 20%.
Is it? That's
less than 20%.
Surprised it's that much because those things are built like tanks.
And again, I'm not talking the ones that put a little device on. I'm talking people that try to break into the machine
with a crowbar.
Right. These people thought they were going to blow it up. Have you seen the ones where they try to take the entire machine out of the wall?
Yeah.
And it tears we had a story years ago. They put chains to the machine that was attached to the bank building somehow. Took off and pulled with the chains, pulled the machine, and it pulled the bumper off. And they fled.
And left their bumper.
You see the problem there? What's on the bumper?
Usually, you'll find the license plate.
Yes, they went and arrested him because they could see who it was.
Yeah.
And they had the guys on camera. So there you go. Anyways, in this case, they tried to blow it up to get the money out, instead blew themselves up. A dining area in South Liverpool, like a little community area, was scattered with debris. They blew up a nearby bus stop, one of those little things. Shrapnel scattered all over the other buildings there. Right. Because the suspect used gas canisters to try to blow it open.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
See, when you see people blow up safes and stuff in movies, first of all, it's a movie. But even if you could find somebody to do that, that's what you call a professional.
Yes.
It's not just, just blow it up. It'll come out.
No, you need a very localized little explosion.
Right.
Not gas.
Because what normally happens is if you have an explosion like that, if you do gain access to the contents inside, those contents are also blown up.
Yeah, it's funny how money will burn that way.
Which was also the case here.
Yeah.
They destroyed the machine and everything else around it, in it. Witnesses say the perps, after it blew up, staggered to the car before speeding away. Yes, cops have not identified the perps yet, but will soon based on their likely serious injuries.
I would think.
Oh, yeah, they hurt themselves pretty bad.
And I'm betting they're not going to be able to hear the phone ring for some time.
Yes, exactly.
What? I can't hear.
Yeah, the guy who comes into the emergency room with third-degree burns and asks for your help. You might want to call the police.
Yeah, it could be them.
I'm not sure who to mock in this next story on our Friday leftovers. I'll let you decide.
Okay.
The Crowley School District near Fort Worth, Texas. It's right down the road. They received an email recently explaining that a construction company that has been a vendor of theirs, construction company's doing work and they owe money for constructing.
Right.
The construction company sent them an email and said, hey, we've got to give you our updated banking information for you to send that money over.
Okay. Wait. Okay.
You send the money to them. It's not like, I'm going to pick up that check for $2 million.
Right. Yeah. You wire it over.
Right. And they said, we've got some updated information. And the district, whoever just, cool. What's that information? Let me just fill that in here. They filled it in. And the district processed the $500,000 payment the next day.
Nice.
And then the remaining $1.4 million the day after that.
Good.
The problem is the construction company didn't get the money. And they called and said, getting down to Christmas, got to buy the son, the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip, and we don't have the money. And they say, what are you talking about? We wired it over on this date with the new banking information. You go, whoa, new banking information. Turns out it was not them. It was a 61-year-old Floridian, Donald Concrite.
Either way.
Donald Concrite had just scammed him.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I don't know how he knew that they owed him money or anything like this, but he just called and did it. Maybe just...
Did he get to keep the money?
No, as it turns out, he didn't. So,
damn it.
It was pretty easy to find because the account that it was wired to was in his name.
It's weird how that happens, too.
Yep, and when they went to investigate, because the district calls the police and says, hey, there's a problem here, they tracked him down. He had already, within days, bought a BMW and multiple Rolex watches.
What an idiot. How many you've got two wrists. How many Rolexes do you really don't even need one. But how many do you need, idiot?
He was arrested and charged with wire fraud, and he's going to go to the big house. That's how that's going to play out.
You know what he could have done? No, he could have been planning to sell the watches and make money off them. Aha!
You just keep the money.
I could have done that too.
I got a plan. You'll love it. It's going to be great. I scam them out of money. And then I buy watches with the money.
Oh, good idea.
And then I sell the watches to get money.
That's a great idea.
That's how I launder the money that was wired to me in my name.
Perfect
They'll
idea.
never catch me. I'll launder the money that way. You're only going to get like 40% of the dollar. It's worth it because then they won't know it's me.
Exactly.
I'll get to keep it all. It'd be awesome if you bought the Rolexes and they were fake. That's what we need. We need people to scam scammers.
Yeah.
Cops say 42-year-old Lori Ann Carroll of Port St. Lucie, which is quickly becoming a favorite in the Friday leftovers.
Really
Not just
is.
Florida. You can narrow in or hone in on a couple of places. Port St. Lucie is a big one.
It is one of them.
Also Niceville, ironically.
Yeah, that is funny. Yeah, they do come up a lot. Not so nice.
Port St. Lucie. Lori Ann Carroll was arrested on charges of battery and 3 counts of resisting an officer following an incident. Charges of battery.
Battery. Who is she battering?
What has become a new favorite on the Friday leftovers?
Well, people are.
This is a woman.
A woman. Did she pee on him?
She battered her man.
Oh man, was he not going to do
He was
her?
not going to give her the good stuff.
Oh man.
Deputies were called to her home around 3 a.m. They were told by her boyfriend that they had been arguing all night because she wanted to have sex, but he didn't. Careful.
Just edit.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
careful. Not so much that you would swear or say something inappropriate as far as the audience is concerned. The boyfriend told officers that Carol continued to demand that he have sex, even though he told her several times that he wanted to be left alone. So finally, after hours of the badgering, he went to a nearby bar, as men are wont to do in such cases. He said he went to the bar to get away from her, and everything was fine while he was at the bar until he returned home. When he returned home, she began again saying, "Have sex with me. We're gonna have sex.
Do me."
And they began to argue about that when he was like, "No. No means no.
Don't touch me there."
Got to get consent every step of the way. Hashtag me too."
You know.
When they began to argue again and he still refused, that is when she began to punch him in the chest and groin.
Ow. Damn.
When that still was not enough to convince him to have sex with her, she then threw a paint roller at him.
The whole. Well, see, now that gets into whether it was just the roller.
Handle or the roller itself, I don't know. I'm going to assume that they were getting ready for a painting job, and that's the reason it was handy or just finished one up, and not this was something that she was wanting to use. But hey, that's up to them. Deputies reported that she was, when they arrived, quote, obviously intoxicated and uncooperative.
And apparently not attractive.
No, she was not.
Why don't these women learn a thing or two? How about you talk nice? How about you say some nice things to him instead of just demanding that he be some sexual object?
What, do you think I can just hop to action when you demand it?
How about telling him that he's pretty? How about
something pretty?
Yes.
When's the last time he took me out?
Right. I mean, good grief, do they think that we're machines?
And have you ever heard of a little thing, ladies, called foreplay?
Right? I mean,
a little foreplay where I get to look at, pictures of a young starlet for a while. Come on, a little bit of foreplay.
Somebody other than you. Give me a minute to work it up.
That was working. I want you to know right up until that point. I think we could even persuade them on the pictures, but you kind of ruined it there. Pinellas County, which is in Florida, the cops there say that 22-year-old Halid Dedick Khalid Dedick was playing dodgeball.
Not his real name.
He's 22. Playing dodgeball when a 15-year-old hit him with a ball.
Damn.
That's assault.
It is.
While they were playing dodgeball.
Wait a minute. That can't be right.
That's when they say he attacked the teenager for hitting him with the ball in dodgeball. He charged the 15-year-old victim and tried to tackle him, but he missed. Damn. Then he stood up and charged the victim again, and he missed. That's when he used an open hand and slapped the victim.
Did he miss?
He got him.
Got him that
time. But
time.
that's the reason cops were called. And the cops found out that he had been trash-talking other players throughout the game.
Wow.
And that's when the 15-year-old bunk hit him. That's when he attacked him. He is facing felony child abuse charges.
Wow! For a dodgeball game gone wrong.
Right.
Man.
The 15-year-old, I just bonk. You know, this would be like, a boxer after the match going, look at me. He hit me.
Right.
Charges.
That's, I'm surprised. Was this on school grounds?
I don't think so, because he was 22.
I don't think you can play dodgeball anymore in school, which is absolutely asinine, but whatever.
I bet you were good at dodgeball, weren't you?
Not really. I was just fat kid. I always got hit.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't throw real well.
I can't do that either. So even if I didn't get hit,
like in baseball, I can hit pretty well. I mean, I'm all right.
I can hit left or right-handed.
So can I, but I can't. I just cannot throw. I mean, basic tosses, but football, I'm just not good at it.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, in dodgeball, I was a ball magnet.
It hit you every time?
Yeah, and I mean, I want to, but it not just hit me.
It hit you square.
In the face.
They were probably aiming for your face in that case.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
Laredo police made an arrest after finding more than 1,000 bottles of tequila that had been reported stolen last month. 1,000 bottles of tequila reported stolen, and they have made an arrest.
You had me at tequila.
It wasn't difficult to find the perp, considering that the perp offered the tequila for sale on Facebook. Hey, I've got this 1,000 bottles of tequila. No, I bought them. I've been collecting them.
Wow.
Tequila was valued at $25,000.
Let's do the math there.
1,000 bottles, about $25 a bottle. So it's pretty decent stuff there, right?
He wasn't even giving a discount.
No. I don't know if he was charging that. They're just saying that's what the value was. Cops tracked the sale to his house where they found the tequila. Also a loaded .357 revolver.
Alcohol and fire.
And that's when they also discovered the perp was an illegal. So let me get this straight. An illegal guy stole tequila. Well, at least it wasn't cultural appropriation.
And wait a minute, isn't most agave grown in Mexico? Wasn't it his to begin with?
Thank you.
All right.
He was just reclaiming cultural treasures.
That's it. That's all it was.
After you crackers have raided his country and stolen those cultural treats and treasures.
What? He deserves a good settlement. He needs thousands of dollars. He needs to be awarded a good, handsome settlement in court.
A man crashed his pickup truck into a courthouse in Mississippi. The man, 28-year-old Keith Cavalier, told officers, well, he had a good explanation of why he ended up crashing his truck into the courthouse in Mississippi. He told officers that he intentionally did it.
Prove a point.
He intentionally crashed into the Harris County courthouse because it was the best way to let them know his drug paraphernalia had been stolen.
It seems like he might have been able to come up with a better way.
What better way? Give me one. Brad, your drug paraphernalia gets stolen and you demand justice. Well, you go to the cops.
Yeah.
And cops are often at the courthouse.
Yeah.
And there is no time to waste.
He was playing the odds.
And what are you going to do? Sit out front and wait for the cops to come out?
Right.
You're going to call them and wait for them to come over?
No, you're right.
Lazy public servants. You don't know when they're going to come out.
You're right.
You make a statement. You crash right into that courthouse. They're going to come out.
You got their attention right away.
You tell them, hey.
All right. I stand corrected.
Now, on with this. Fine, you take me to jail, but on with the stolen drug paraphernalia. I can't have people stealing drug paraphernalia from me.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
Shouldn't steal. Says so.
Here's the thing. He was charged with DUI, malicious mischief because he damaged the building, and also possession of
Wait a minute. If his
paraphernalia.
If his drug paraphernalia had been stolen, how did he have any?
Well, it's twofold. Number one, he admitted that he was in possession. And number two, he still had some other paraphernalia.
So he's a liar, is what you're saying.
No, likely some of it was stolen.
Well, you can't trust him now.
Yeah. And by the way, you need to do a little more investigating, because he likely has some drugs somewhere, too. If not there, it's at home.
Probably a safe bet.
Damn it. Stealing my drug paraphernalia.
What's this world come to?
I'm going to be made whole here. I'm going to get my revenge. I am going to be made whole. What am I going to do?
I could call him.
Police. I'm going to call the police. What I'm going to do.
Everybody calls him. That's so...
I'm just going to smash right into that courthouse.
Great idea.
Isn't that awesome?
That's... He got their attention.
Granted, I mean, drugs were a factor here, but even within a drug-induced state, that's your solution.
He's thinking.
Okay.
At least he was thinking.
Okay.
Sort of.
31-year-old Alan Lewis was being transported to face charges in another county. He was, under arrest. He was convicted, being transported from one jail to another, when he complained that the handcuffs were just too tight. They're just cutting into his wrists, and, the officer pulled over, and that's when he said one of the handcuffs was released, the officer said, to make it a little easier on his wrist. And you're not going to believe what Lewis did then.
Oh, he didn't try to get away, did he?
Yeah, he actually got away. First of all, he attacked the officer, and the two of them struggled. And he made it to a nearby highway in order to get a ride. He's on the lam, right?
He was riding a lamb?
No. Oh. It means you're fleeing police.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you're a wanted man.
Right, gotcha.
So there he is. He breaks out. I mean, and that's a clever ruse.
It is.
Right?
Officer, these are so tight.
I don't even know if I could pull it off, because I would think the officer's not going to buy this like a movie. Right? Yeah. But he did it. Struggled the officer, got free, and he's on the lam, makes it to a nearby highway, flags down a passing car for a ride, gets in, and he is ready to go. It was
got away.
An officer that he flagged down.
Wait, what?
He flagged down a police officer.
That's probably not a good idea.
Not if you want to stay out of their custody.
Yeah.
Now, in his defense, it was a Moorhead State University cop. But still a cop.
Did it say Moorhead on the side of the car?
Oh, maybe you think he was going for something else?
Maybe. I mean, if you ask me, that's false advertising.
The Moorhead State cop saw a handcuff dangling from one wrist and said, that's
a clue right there.
Okay, that's what you call an arrest.
Nice.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. American employers added just 20,000 jobs last month, far fewer than economists were expecting. However, the already low unemployment rate dropped again.
The slowdown in hiring, which may have been worsened by unseasonably cold weather, comes after employers added 311,000 jobs in January, the most in nearly a year. The Labor Department says February's unemployment rate fell to 3.8% from 4%. Businesses stepped up their competition for workers and raised average hourly pay 3.4% from a year earlier, the largest gain in a decade.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Paul Manafort sentenced to just under 4 years in prison, convicted of tax and bank fraud for his work on behalf of politicians in Ukraine. President Trump heads south today, traveling to tornado-devastated eastern Alabama.
President Trump plans to visit rural Lee County, Alabama, where 23 people were killed when an EF4 tornado scoured a nearly mile-wide path over 70 miles into neighboring Georgia. Federal disaster response teams arrived after the president declared an emergency, winning praise from Alabama's Democratic Senator Doug Jones, who toured the small community of Beauregard yesterday, one of the hardest-hit areas.
You can gasp when you see the videos, but when you're out here, it just takes your breath away.
Jones says there's little more the president can do in practical terms right now.
You have no words. There's nothing you can do. All you can do is comfort.
But the visit is important and appreciated. Ben Thomas, Washington.
SpaceX's cutting-edge, state-of-the-art crew capsule is undocked from the International Space Station, now heading for a good old-fashioned splashdown in the Atlantic off Florida. The Dragon capsule pulled away from the orbiting lab early this morning. A test dummy named Ripley, its lone occupant. This is a test run with NASA counting on SpaceX and Boeing to actually start launching astronauts into space later in the year. Dow futures down 201 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Having an extra supply of food on hand is just smart. Some people call it prepping. I call it smart. You never know what's going to happen in this world. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. You'll find out a lot of good reasons to have that food and some great prices. mypatriotsupply.com.
Ladies, some of you sickos willingly accept that with the big doe eyes that you don't even need from a Snapchat filter and just look up at R. Kelly and say, give me your best.
The Rancevizzo. United 7. MoJo 50.
Wow. Hey, guys, Ron Phillips from the Conservative Cartel. I want to tell you about a new weight loss product that's quickly becoming part of our MoJo 50 family. Okay, so it was launched by this Texas company who have taken the good stuff in olive oil and created a patented product that helps people control their appetite and lose weight. That's right. It's also a big help to keep the weight off. In a 6-year study of former contestants from The Biggest Loser, you remember that show? It showed that when you lose weight, your body actually thinks something bad has happened and it fights back by slowing your metabolism and boosting your appetite. Rid-U-Zone, that's R-I-D-U Zone, contains a patented ingredient that has been shown to boost metabolism and reduce appetite while helping you burn fat. If you are struggling every day with cravings, try Rid-U-Zone. It makes it so much easier to control your appetite and not think about food all day. That's my problem. For a short time, we have a 30% off deal for our show. Just go to riduzone.com and enter code MATT. That's M-A-T-T. Again, that's riduzone.com, R-I-D-U-Z-O-N-E.com. Rid-U-Zone.
This is the MoJo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches.
The mothership has landed.
All right, to answer the question, fully loaded, high-caliber kitty, does Real Brad Staggs cry while playing those Doc Thompson Show replays? No. No? Used to. I don't anymore. Now I'm just pissed.
Yeah.
Now I'm just pissed. I got all this extra work. At least I got a raise.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got a raise.
Wait, you're getting paid?
Oh, are you kidding? I'm so filthy rich. It's just, money. What is money to a rich man? By the way,
I don't know. Just don't go to get a penis enlargement. Then you'll be all right.
Right.
You die during those, apparently.
You go to Brad Staggs on eBay, you'll find my my vintage magic collection. So.
Oh, I thought you were about to go somewhere else with that.
I'm selling
myself.
I couldn't get any.
No bids yet, but I'm selling.
Damn it.
I Am Corbin said, sounds a little like, Brandon Moore sounds a little like Ron Burgundy when reading the news. Ron Burgundy.
That's good.
I like that.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Stay classy, San Diego. Stephen English. English.
A few too many vowels.
It's not the barking drones that worry me. It's the barking spiders.
You ever stepped on a barking spider?
All the damn time.
Yeah, I know. This
damn
place is infested.
day.
I've never seen a place more infested with barking spiders.
Every
than this
damn time
office.
Brad walks across, it just...
They're everywhere. They are everywhere.
Yeah, they suck. Larky F. and Farkin said, farmers work harder than Brad and Ron, but Brad and Ron get more shit on themselves.
Hell, one of us does. I'll just leave it right there.
Attack F. and Yuki said, one advantage to being short is I can sleep horizontal across my bed as effectively as I can vertically, and I love it. BF? Boyfriend. Not so much.
I can... A king-size bed, I can do the same thing.
King-size bed.
They're like 6'6", aren't they?
Yeah, Larky F. and Farkin, you have to... What size bed are you sporting there? Because that's the question.
Oh, I thought you were asking Ron, who didn't answer.
Oh, Ron, what are you sleeping on?
King size.
Oh, there's nothing. Once you sleep on a king size, anything else is you're like sleeping on a postage stamp.
Yeah, and that's actually true.
It does. It makes me wonder what beds they'll have in the Aurora Station. The Aurora Station was announced last year at the Space Conference in San Jose. It's going to be the world's first in-orbit hotel.
Oh.
It's going to be in a structure about the size of a large private jet.
Oh.
You will get you'll be 200 miles above the Earth's surface. They say you'll get epic views of the planet and the northern and southern lights.
Really?
Yeah. You can go up there for 12 days. Any guesses at how much a 12-day vacation?
I don't know, but it should be free for the first group of flat earthers we send up.
I believe in a flat Earth. I absolutely believe in a flat Earth if they're going to do that. I believe in a flat Earth.
Yeah, I am 100% a flat earther.
I'm positive it's flat.
The funny part is the flat Earth community, I'm 100% positive that it's just a bunch of trolls who are trolling each other and don't realize that they're being trolled. Like, no one really believes it's a flat Earth.
That's a good point.
I think that they're all just like, I'm gonna join this flat Earth community.
I watched
and
a
make
little
big joke out of
documentary
it.
on Netflix. That's the damn stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Dude
like
still lives with his mama in the basement somewhere.
You know what? Does he have a job? No. Does he get 3 hots in a cot every day? Yes.
Yes.
Sounds stupid still?
No.
This thing is going to be in orbit by 2022, they say, and for a 12-day journey,
500,000.
Oh, 2 million.
$9.5 million per person.
What? Whoa.
Per person. The waiting list is 7 months long.
Oh my God.
Apparently, there are enough people with that much money. Nobody needs that much money. Why don't they? How come none of them are listening to us?
What kid didn't grow up going, you know what, I'd love to float in space once in my life kind of thing, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I would pay a lot of money if I could.
$9.5 million is what it'll cost you.
I would move to Mars. I'm not kidding.
Oh, I would do it.
I want to move. If someone say, hey, we're putting together, like, you know, you'd have to live like a colonist for a while, yada, 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 but you get to live on Mars.
What if it's a one-way trip? Would you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of your life out there? Yeah.
Yes.
Would you take your fiance?
Sure.
Uh-oh. I heard just the slightest hesitation.
Well, my slight hesitation comes from the fact that it's like she does not want to live anywhere but Dallas. She's moved to one other place in her entire life,
Not
and it was
Mars.
such a not
I
Mars.
promise you Mars would be a stretch. Yeah,
Mars would be a little bit of a stretch.
Honey,
so,
we're going to France.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Mars.
It'll just take us 6 months to get there.
Yeah. It'll take us 6 months to get there, and just I want to warn you beforehand. It's not like the pictures.
So apparently, you have to work while you're on board. The Aurora visitors will spend some of their time tending microgravity experiments, like growing food, like the crew of the space station does. But water will be imported with each round of guests rather than being processed from their own urine.
There is only one experiment in that jumbo jet of a space station that I would want to do.
The money shot. You know it's been done. Come on. You know somebody.
We need to know.
Somebody up there has done it.
Yeah.
You can't.
That at some
every
point in
human
time.
being that has been in space,
You're telling me they haven't had sex in space.
So somebody has.
The problem is, you know, in space when you're floating around and you push against one object, it just keeps going until it hits something else.
That's pretty much like sex here on Earth. That's not. There's no difference there.
What you're saying,
you're
Ron,
still going to have to chase it down the hallway.
There's no gravity to assist. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's just some complications.
One of you is going to be tied up.
Somebody's got to be tied up.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's so.
You ever been tied up, Brandon?
No, I cannot.
You've never been tied up?
I do not. No, I actually do not like. The thought of being tied up, even just like not even sexually, it bothers the crap out of me.
If it's not sexual, of course, that would be creepy. If
No,
you're
I don't even like being tied up like in any way, shape, or form. I don't like being like restrained. You know, I'm the restrainer.
Don't you have claustrophobia anyways?
I do. I have a little bit of claustrophobia. So if I can't, I think it stemmed back from when I was a kid.
You don't like being in little boxes?
Were you tied up as a kid?
Well, they
chained in the backyard.
I had a gash on my. I had a gash one day because I hit my head on the coffee table, and they took me to the hospital to get stitches. So they put me under, right? And for some odd reason, right in the middle of the procedure of them stitching up my eyebrow, I woke up.
Oh,
and the funny thing is like the stitching didn't hurt or anything like that. I wasn't really like that bothered by it. What really got me was the fact that when I tried to move my arms and legs, or my body, I mean, like I was tied down. I could not move to save my life.
Thrash.
And that is what caused me to go insane, was the fact that I just could not move anywhere.
Wow.
That, like, I tried to bargain. I was like, I can take this. Like, this is not bothering me. The thing is not bothering me, but just let me go. No, I was held down, and from that point on,
hey, I
was
have a question.
Yeah.
Can't you knock the space station out of orbit doing that thing we were just talking about?
That sex thing?
Yeah.
Technically, I guess because there's no weight in space. I wonder if you...
No, because you'd have to have the space station. Well, if you're talking about being on the Aurora.
I think they'd have to put little jet propulsions.
Little air sink to keep it on course.
Oh, the space station has to have
the person doing the sex.
But that's really interesting. Ron's really getting you down.
He's thought this through.
He's getting scientifical over here.
That's not a stupid
Look,
question.
the jackholes will help me out.
3 hours from now,
I guarantee you they're all thinking this right now.
We're going to be on my show, and Ron's going to be like, I did some thinking.
Well,
I figure that if you actually go out in space with an MAV, right? One person.
That's right.
It'd have to be a double suit.
If the space shuttle docking with the damn thing didn't knock it out of orbit, then
that's a
you
good
doing
point.
the ugly and
that's a good point.
Inside's not going to do it. Plus, once you get bored of having sex in space, there's also going to be a holodeck on this thing.
Of course.
What?
Yeah, there's going to be a holodeck. I mean, sure, it's just like you're going to have to wear the VR glasses.
Yeah.
They haven't quite, I don't think, come far enough to create the holodeck.
I think pretty much what they're going to end up doing is just walls that look kind of like like a forest.
Long-term exposure to zero-G weakens the bones and changes the structure of
You can't get off the conversation either, I see.
Of the eyeball. It changes the structure of your eyeball radically enough to affect sight.
That's crazy.
If you're in space just 12 days, guests don't have to worry, but the staff will.
The best test subject they've got for this right now, Brad, is Scott Kelly. Do you know who that is? Scott Kelly, he's the guy who spent the longest amount of time on the space station.
Yeah.
He has a twin brother. And so they can...
Oh yeah,
they can match them. You see what's going on there. That's cool.
They recently, I found this on Reddit. They released a video of when you come back from the International Space Station from being up that long, you have to basically go through therapy, physical therapy, to learn how to walk again.
Yeah,
and like the guy looked like he looked like he had drunk way too much. He looked super drunk, but he was very clear-eyed, obviously. But he was wobbly, like trying to.
Microgravity doesn't affect menstruation. Although issues with storage of sanitary items and limited washing water may prompt female astronauts to go on the pill.
Yeah.
And strangely, I have an answer to your question, Ron. Because of the kinetics involved, NASA requires astronauts to abstain from sex.
Oh, no!
Because of the kinetics involved. Okay.
How in the hell can two people bumping uglies knock the damn thing out of space?
No. It's not the kinetics of bumping it out of orbit. It's the kinetics of how do you bump uglies when you can't push. That's the thing.
Because like after the first thrust, you're sending her away.
You can hold on to the other person.
Yeah,
it's not like you can't touch them.
But you would have to have some seriously good core strength.
Okay. Do neither one of you have a sense of, okay, what if she's like holding on to bars on the wall?
Because you're still floating from this end then.
What if you're holding on to the bars on the wall too?
Then she's floating up from this end.
What if you both holding on to bars on the wall and you both have
You would have to have your feet and hands interlocked into something.
Yes.
Into something.
Into something like bars there.
Yes.
And then you would have a core workout.
I'm calling Bravo Sierra on this. They don't require.
We need NASA to weigh in on this. Do we know anyone from NASA?
I used to.
We need to find a NASA person, call them, and ask them how the mechanics of how this would work. And can you bump the International Space Station up? Because think about it.
No, you can't.
No. This is the question I need to ask. Let's say that you are outside of the International Space Station. All right, and you give it a good shove. Can you yourself?
You can't do that because you have nothing to push
you
against.
have no force. There's no.
Yeah.
But
let's say that you're in some kind of.
Yeah.
I get it. But let's say that you have some kind of thrusting force behind you. Like you are in a.
Now if you have a thrusting force behind you, that's different.
That is keeping me. That is keeping me completely in the same position, and I give the International Space Station a good push.
Yeah.
Does it move?
But you can't. You can't. Here's the thing. Everything is up in space. You're going. You're in orbit, so you're traveling 25,000 miles an hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
So everything's traveling, which is why they have such a problem with all the space junk up there.
Right.
Because if they run into a space nut, then it could go right through the wall.
You can't space nut. That's the problem.
That's the biggest issue. I mean, you do that out in space, and you get that puts your eye out. I mean, if somebody's coming from the other direction,
you'd be it's like you're Neo in the Matrix suddenly just.
Well, there is some force there.
There is force.
There's force. So does that send you backwards?
If you pushed against the International Space Station, you would push yourself out into space.
Right. No. Yes.
Yeah, because there's more mass.
Opposite. More mass.
It's
right.
Yeah.
But let's say that I did have a force keeping me in position, like a jetpack of some kind, and I gave
I'm sure you could affect it. Yes.
Space is a crazy place, man.
It is
a crazy place.
It's intriguing. I like
Matt Locke has something he wants to say so bad.
I want to try to knock the space station out of orbit.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't. All you'd have to do is yell. Oh, no, that'd be very sad because you can't talk. There's no sound in space.
Well, I mean, in space, no one can hear you scream.
I'm out.
Yeah, you're done.
I'm out of here.
No, I say we send Matt to space.
All right, Matt. Congratulations, buddy. You're being subjected to a lot of tests.
Boy, that'd be Matt Locke's worst nightmare, being in space, because no one would be able to hear him.
Where's Ruth?
He would. Oh, that is his ultimate nightmare right there.
Yeah.
By the way, this thing was crowdfunded, the Aurora Hotel, that is, on Seed Invest. Which
appropriate
Seed Invest, which is apparently for the high. It's a highfalutin GoFundMe and all that. That's where we should have.
So it's sending citizens up into space.
Well, Seed Invest is where you can do all sorts of things. There's a project on there right now called Keen Home, which is something to do with your home apparently, and they've raised $5 million. Nightscope, which is robotics. It's autonomous security robots providing security professionals advanced detection capabilities.
Oh, idea.
We know Skip Lacombe.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Space guy.
Well, that's true. We could get.
Yeah, but he's not NASA specifically, is
he?
Yeah,
but he knows space stuff.
Yeah, they all hang together. By the way, Nightscope has raised $20 million for those robots.
Oh my god!
For security robots,
and they look like Daleks.
Cool. They do look like Daleks.
They look like Daleks, which I've never been scared of a Dalek in my entire life. I don't understand why that was like a thing.
Look, here's the thing that I think about: the first child, born in in no gravity, right?
Oh, that'd be messy.
Will learn to adapt. It'd be messy. Don't get me wrong, but would learn to adapt in such a way, unlike any other human being ever has, right? Mm-hmm. Especially if they lived there they would never learn to walk.
Yeah.
Unless they put them on a treadmill, I guess, like that. But
you'd have to. You couldn't. I mean,
but their body would adapt in so many different ways than what ours does now. Think about that.
Well, my entire theory about how we would travel
they would almost
space.
have to do that to get us to do travel in space.
Right.
They would have to.
Well, yeah, because if you're going to have kids in space,
you'd have to adapt.
Well, I understand though. I mean, we can create artificial gravity in space very easily by having a spin, like having whatever quarters or whatever spin around.
They use the Vomit Comet to shoot movies. It's a 747 that does that parabolic
move,
and
I've wanted to do that.
Me too.
Have y'all ever seen The Martian?
Yes.
Okay, so in that movie, the Hermes, the big ship that they travel in, you'll notice that the middle part just spins around all the time, and she's jogging
to create
on
the
the
artificial
treadmill
gravity.
and stuff like
Gravity,
that.
that's
so
correct.
If we did have any kind of like, hey, we're going to Mars thing, they would build something akin to the Hermes, where they have a part that spins around, and that's where everyone sleeps, lives.
That's theoretical, isn't it? I mean, they've never built one of those, so...
Well, they haven't built one of those yet, but I mean, like, it's the closest thing that we're going to be able to achieve. We need to talk to Skip Lacombe.
Well, it's the centrifugal force that creates the fake gravity.
Right, right, exactly.
What if you shoot a gun in the space station?
In the space station?
I mean, it's a 40 caliber block. If you shoot a gun...
Probably not a good plan, but...
But I'm just, in theory, what if you shot a gun, would the force of the projectile knock you backwards?
Yes. Oh, yes.
So would you go
opposite and equal?
Yes.
Yep.
No, because there's more you've got more mass. So you've got this little bitty bullet that's going one way, and you with the bigger mass. So the
lack of equal.
I
But
still think
I still think that it would push you backwards, no doubt. But the bullet would go forward as well.
Yeah.
Blow a hole in the side of the space station?
Oh, please. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I bet, and I also bet that it's not the force from the explosion inside the gun is not enough to cause you to go backwards like that fast. I'm pretty sure that if you were to leap forward, if you were to leap forward and then fire a gun as you're going forward, you might slow down a little bit, but not enough.
We need to get TRA guns working on that.
Yes, we do.
The gun you can shoot in space.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, they're at the cutting edge of the technology right now, buying guns. So why not be the cutting edge of technology of guns in space?
Word.
Just saying.
Word.
This is, by the way, this is the Glock. There are many like it, but that one
is yours.
Mm-hmm. It's 40 cal. That's a nice gun. You can find
that's
those.
a 40 cal.
Yep.
I've got a Smith & Wesson M&P2 40 cal.
It's from Austria.
Yeah, Austria. That's
no,
not Australia.
No, Australia.
Sorry.
Austria.
It's not a Tuma. It's better. TRAguns.com is where you'll find right now every pretty picture of every pretty gun you've ever wanted to see a pretty picture of. And then you can spin them around. They are the true spinners of the gun world.
And I got ready to show your screen there because I have the last couple of days, but I'm not showing that.
Oh, no. We'll get to that in a second. That's interesting, isn't it? But the TRA guns, you will find that you can look at guns from every different angle. Just don't take them on board the space station if you buy one and shoot them, because apparently we don't know what's going to happen. And that'd be a bad thing.
Yeah.
But you can find guns. You can find the Sig Sauers. You can find the Glocks. You can find the Smith & Wessons. You can find the Bond Arms. You can find just about any gun your little heart desires right there. TRAguns.com. They are revolutionizing the way you buy guns. The most convenient gun store anywhere on the planet. It is TRAguns.com. Again, do not fire one aboard the Aurora Hotel. No, I thought that these are some of the dumb ideas that didn't get funded on Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The barf suit.
What's the matter with that?
I kind of thought so too. The barf suit. It's is it deliberately a bad joke, or is it really something that? Look at the picture of it up there. So it has a pocket almost like a kangaroo pouch in front of it. So if you get sick, you just open up the pouch right there. Or let's see. Hang on. In the words of
the top part of your shirt.
I mean, if you've got Amy Schumer on board the shuttle, you need the barf suit.
The most of your barf would immediately get on the top part of that shirt right there.
Yes,
because when you throw up, you don't throw up straight down. You throw up like.
Well, you do if you're aiming, but that would hurt. Because generally, you want to keep your mouth out. Yeah, so
that's a horrible. Unless you're bringing the shirt up to your face.
Yeah, you could
like
do that.
This, I guess. Yeah,
you could pull the pouch to your face.
Yeah, I guess that works.
Pickle Rick condoms.
Pickle Rick.
Apparently, there's an episode of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Mad scientist Rick turns himself into a pickle, and they wanted to make Pickle Rick
condoms, man. Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
I don't think these got funded though.
Well,
Spoonie. There is a Spoonie on Kickstarter that.
For a second, I was like, "Oh, we put that up on Kickstarter." That's
what
neat.
it is it's a spoon with a built-in fan.
Oh,
so you don't have to blow
wow.
on, especially if you're feeding kids, you don't have to blow on the food. The spoon, however, was $60.
I don't know, dude. If I was an infant or a small child and see that coming at me,
it's a little creepy. It looks.
It's not like the spoon.
From the other end, it could double as a marital aid.
Yeah,
it's.
It really could.
Hell, from the front end, it could. It's a little weird looking.
It's it's a little weird looking. But I would say it's no spoon.
No,
it's no spoon or fork.
It's certainly not. It's certainly not a spoonie.
Or the AirPod chopsticks. But
Pop theater. If you're tired of laying on your back and holding your phone up above you and drop, like you fall asleep or whatever.
Oh,
you
that's
drop
me.
your phone. The pop theater is something you lay down and you put this thing over your head and it holds your phone like a foot and a half away.
For when you're laying out in a field.
You know, South Park recently came out with an episode called the Buddha Box, where it's basically you put a box over your head with your phone inside. And
that's what this is.
Yeah. So it's the Buddha Box. It's South Park's Buddha Box.
Yeah. You strap the phone into the top of the tent, you lay down, and you watch upward. The ostrich pillow hood. I don't think this one got funded either. This is
ostrich pillow hood.
So basically, it's so you can sleep anywhere. So you put this hood on, and then you can pull it in front of you, and you can't see anything. It blocks out the light.
Look, if somebody did that in an airplane next to me, I'd have to jack with them the whole time.
What is that? Remember the thing that Doc did? I think he did it the other place where it was the pillow head. You look like a bug.
You look like
and you had the two armholes in it.
You look like a Teletubby.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
It left
your mouth open, right?
Whenever I see that, y'all have probably never played it, but BioShock Infinite had an enemy that looked exactly like that. Exactly like that. And it freaks me the hell out.
You look like a giant bug with it. The Mo case. This is a case for your iPhone that would...
Do you not have enough case?
It would...
Here's Mo case.
Brew a cup of coffee.
Seriously?
One single, I guess, or maybe a shot. But it would make one shot of coffee literally in the case of the phone, and you could pour it out.
Wow.
That's bizarre. Why would you do that?
Why would you want your phone to be that hot anyway?
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
not only that, but why would you want liquids that close to your phone anyhow?
Also a good question.
There's that. And then there were the final one here is my bucket list. And it's a bucket. Who knew?
Do you put a list in the bucket?
Yes, that's exactly what it. So see, this goes back to the pet rock. You're not old enough to remember the pet rock.
Oh, I wasn't around for that, but I remember the
pet rock. I think you can probably still find them on eBay. It was a rock in a little cardboard box nestled on top of some shredded newspaper, and people paid I think it was $20. Same as downtown. People bought pet rocks and gave them as gifts. They kept them. It was.
I'm not surprised.
They
Remember,
didn't eat. They didn't poop. They were great pets. They just sat there.
Remember, folks, the Supreme brick was also sold out at $1,000.
So people, this is just proof that some things people are too smart to buy.
Yep.
Like the bucket list.
Yep.
Who knew? We're talking to Glenn Rich again next because something weird is happening at Weight Watchers. Oh, they're losing a lot of weight in a bad way.
Oh.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, Freedom. MoJo 50.
Why? Why would anyone excuse or turn a blind eye to blatant anti-Semitism? That's the question that's been running through my head during this weeks-long issue over Minnesota Representative Ilhan Omar's continued anti-Semitic words. Then I was reminded of exactly why so many Democrats couldn't bring themselves to just simply say Omar is wrong and take action against her. It's the polls, stupid Andrew. A recent Pew Research poll gives us a glimpse of the real reason why the Dems decided to go for an anti-hate resolution instead of calling out Omar specifically. According to the polls, 79% of Republicans say they sympathize more with Israel than the Palestinians, compared with just 27% of Democrats. It isn't a new phenomenon either, as since 2001 the share of Republicans sympathizing more with Israel than the Palestinians has gone up 29%. Over the same period, Democratic sympathy has declined 11 points, according to H.A. Goodman over at The Federalist. Is it cynical to believe that the motives of not expressly condemning the anti-Semitism of Omar lies in pandering to a voting bloc? You bet it is, but if it weren't for politicians of all stripes proving that cynicism correct time and again, we wouldn't need it. The reality of how you get through primary elections like the one coming up in a year for the Democrats is that you need the votes of your base. Let's also remember that there is a growing anti-Israel, BDS, or boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement within the Democratic base, especially the younger base of the party. What incentive do the Democratic leadership then have to do the right thing morally when doing the easy thing scores them cheap political points within their base and keeps their own political ambitions afloat? When politics trump doing the morally right thing, you're doing it wrong. We should be condemning this week's action by the Dems as much as we condemn the anti-Semite named Ilhan Omar and the racist named Steve King. This has been By the Numbers. I'm Andrew Coppins, and you can follow me on Twitter at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
The Daily Mojo.
All right, somebody on the Twitter just asked if we're going to be resuming regular Friday leftovers at some point, and I think that will be next week. Which is one more damn thing I gotta do. I need therapy. I
guess
therapy.
now, though, that's a job that I should do, I guess.
No, Friday leftovers, that comes with this chair over here.
Oh, that's your chair?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's that chair.
Oh, that chair has so much responsibility.
No shit.
People really
Well,
don't
that's why I
respect
like that chair.
People don't really respect that chair like they should, Brad.
Tell me about it. This is
especially Brad.
This is a hard chair to sit in. So next week, I think we'll start doing it that way. We'll just see. In the meantime, something weird is happening at Weight Watchers, and I was supposed to bring this up yesterday when we talked to Gwen Rich from the Rich Solution, and I didn't because we were off on some other wormhole. So Gwen is back. Hi, Gwen.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey.
Gwen Rich from the richsolution.com, where you can find everything you need to live a healthy and fulfilling life. How's that for a slogan?
There you go.
You like that, huh?
I'm so happy I'm in my own seat, and I'm not worrying about fighting over your seat.
You're welcome to sit here in this one if you want to.
Yeah, it's a hard one to fill.
You said it, not me. All right, so Weight Watchers, something weird's happening over there. They have lost, let's see, last year, the second half of their financial year last year, they lost more than 600 subscribers.
Wow.
Yep.
They, at the beginning of its peak season, when Christmas overindulgence morphs into New Year virtuous membership well below forecast, the problem is they think it's all in the name. You have a theory as to what's going on at Weight Watchers, right?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of reasons of what's going on here. Yeah, so I think their first mistake is they decided to launch the new name somewhere around November, which is right close to the holiday time where everybody mostly is putting an emphasis about losing weight or not gaining weight and counting calories. And then that also then, pushes forward to January. So and
real quickly,
that time of year.
And they said, and they changed their name from Weight Watchers to WW.
Which is very confusing.
Which sounds like somebody was like WW, and then they got distracted, they were about to tell me a website.
Yeah, they didn't think that one through. So then in January,
visit WW Squirrel.
Right, that's exactly what it sounds like. So you were saying that moves forward into January and.
Right, and then, of course, with New Year's resolution. So, I mean, they really did it at the wrong time of year. They should have done it way after probably, March or, in my humble opinion, at springtime after people had started their New Year's resolutions, because that's the biggest time where they have people joining Weight Watchers.
But even then, why would you drop? I mean, that was like the perfect name for a company that says exactly what they did. Why would they back off of that? Is there something wrong with the word weight?
And good, because here we get to talk about, let's call a spade, right? So, I mean, we all know we're talking about weight and losing weight and what that's all about. So with the millennials, which is the younger generation, they're the largest population group, they are not interested in that. They're focused on clean eating, exercise, convenience, avoiding artificial sweeteners and, really highly processed foods. So they really did this to shift to work with the millennials.
So their target audience. So they're trying to get the younger crowd in there, and in that case, the focus of their entire program would be wrong, wouldn't it? I mean, at Weight Watchers, isn't it all about portion size and all of that? And they try to sell you their own food too, or is it different now?
You know what? I'm not really for sure what encompasses it, but I think that if you think about a branding perspective, I feel like they kind of actually almost did the right thing, because if they're concentrating on the millennials, which is the biggest population group, that's what you need to do. Unfortunately, it backfired because, they're a big brand name. It's very recognizable. Everybody knows it for losing weight. So all of a sudden you try to change it, it doesn't work, and here's why. So I found some information. There's a professor from the University of Nebraska, okay? So he said that they acted too fast to change their brand name. So what I liked about this is, if anybody heard the segment yesterday, I talked about the Keynesian philosophy, K-A-Z-A-I-K-E-N, yesterday, and that is about taking small actions, which is what our challenge is all about. So when I read this and doing research, it validated everything we're doing on the challenge. And what they did wrong is they changed too fast. Everything takes a long time for people to incorporate, especially when you're changing a brand name. And Weight Watchers is one of the biggest ones that everybody, and is recognizable. So, that's the biggest thing everybody can take away from this.
That makes total sense. And especially, though, at a time, and as we were talking about yesterday as well, that when you say diet, the diet encompasses anything you eat. So you can be eating a diet high in sugar and fatty foods, and that's not going to make you lose weight. You have to make those, like you said, incremental small changes over the course of time if you want anything to work, because you essentially have to change the way that you are doing everything each day. But you can't do that all at once, because otherwise you'll fail. And they did that. They went from Weight Watchers to, that's like McDonald's changing their name to D.
Exactly. Yeah. MD.
We're D.
Right.
That would not work out.
And then
you want to take the kids to get some D?
It makes no sense. And it's true even with this program, quite honestly. That's why with it's Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo, because even for me, it's like too big a shift. Initially, you can't just, we're changing everything. There's certainly the centerpiece, the king sitting over here is no longer sitting over here, but you have to keep some semblance of normalcy. People get used to a routine, no matter how much we try to not be creatures of habit. The bottom line is we're creatures of habit.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to change anything, as we're doing with the Healthy Lifestyle Challenge, we become creatures of habit. So changing those habits, you can't do it overnight and expect it to stick.
Right. The stats just show that, if you do some type of a 30-day challenge and a boot camp type thing, sure, you can make some progress, but in the long term, people end up getting derailed and they stop doing it. I think I mentioned yesterday the average time that women usually get derailed from a diet is 5 weeks. Usually 5 weeks is about as long as it lasts.
Well, that's about the time they ask their husband if the jeans make their butt look too big.
Right.
Yeah.
We're always doing that.
By the way, that's a no-win situation. So guys, forget about it. You can't. And then women say you should never lie. Oh yeah, you should.
No, you should lie.
Yeah, you should.
A lot.
There's definitely.
It's the only way to save your relationship. Yeah. Lie your ass off.
All right. So again, tomorrow the Facebook the meetup that we're doing on Facebook is 2:00 tomorrow Central Time, right?
You got it. And right now, I'm having technical difficulties. It should be on the our Facebook group. If I can't get that, which I will post it in there, it'll be on the Rich Solution Facebook. But hopefully, we'll get it worked out by then.
All right. So it's either going to be in that Facebook group or in your the Rich Solution Facebook group. Okay.
Yep.
All right. One of those. So it's 2:00 Central Time tomorrow. If you haven't signed up yet for the Healthy Lifestyle Challenge, do so. And if you
did I lose?
Nope. Are you gone?
No, I'm still there.
Oh, there
I
you
just
are.
went in and out on you. Sorry about that.
And
so I think Also, I know you got me.
Thank
There will also be a replay. So for those of people who can't make it, I know everybody has busy lives and they are committed to this challenge.
Now will be
stressed out if you can't make it.
Will there be different information in the replay?
No, it'll be the recording. No.
Tried to get you. I tried to get you.
You did. Well, the thing is, my phone keeps going in and out, and so all I heard was this thing. Oh, Jesus.
You want to just?
And I'm not watching you.
You want to just quit? You want to just quit while you're ahead?
Yeah, I think I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
You got it. All right, Gwen. Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll talk tomorrow.
Have a good Friday.
All right,
Bye-bye.
you too.
Bye-bye.
Tell Adam to enjoy his soak. So that's the Doc Thompson's Healthy Lifestyle Challenge. Again, if you haven't signed up for it yet, you can go to the Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo Facebook page, sign up for it there, and then of course take part in the meetup tomorrow. The big webinar.
The webinar.
The big webinar. It's all courtesy of the richsolution.com. I'm betting that Gwen does not endorse things like recreational drugs like Special K.
Oh.
You ever heard, Ron, you ever heard of Special K?
Yes, I've heard of it.
All right, so what is Special K?
No, I've heard of it.
So
I
you
don't know what
it
is specifically.
Do you know what it does?
That's not a strain of...
I'm kind of with Ron here.
That's not a strain of marijuana, is it?
I don't think so. I honestly, I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
is it like ecstasy?
Oh, you know what? Maybe.
Is it? I don't know.
I thought it was just a psychotropic. I don't know what it does.
Psychotropic. Yeah.
Like messes with your mind.
Bro.
It is a mind-altering medication. The FDA has approved a treatment for those with depression with a drug very similar to Special K.
What?
Yeah, it's a nasal spray. It's going to be available from Johnson & Johnson.
Really?
It's a chemical cousin of ketamine that's been used as they say it's an anesthetic to prepare patients for surgery. In the 90s, the medication was adopted as a party drug by the underground rave culture due to its ability to produce psychedelic out-of-body Ooh, this sounds fun.
Oh, is she hot, Jill Hulk? It's ketamine.
That's what I just said, ketamine.
It is a horse tranquilizer.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, nothing says party like
horse
doing
tranquilizer.
some horse tranquilizer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but did you hear what it does? No. Psychedelic out-of-body experiences. Doesn't that sound interesting?
I am not. What? What? Oh, somebody.
Oh,
somebody is on the phone.
Oh, speaking of psychedelic drugs, Skip, what's up?
Skip.
How we doing?
We
have some questions for you.
Were your ears
That's
burning?
what I told him. I said, this is going to be fun.
My Twitter started to blow up. I said, something must be going on.
No, we were discussing we were having a very scientific discussion about bumping uglies in space.
Yeah, we have some questions about it.
Sure.
And we wanted to know.
We needed to know from the expert.
Yeah, I mean, you make stuff that goes into space, so we figured that you were the closest thing we had to an expert.
Yeah.
So why can't people do it in space?
Yeah.
Or can they?
Well, my understanding was that I believe in the mid-'70s, there was rumors that there was some coitus that did occur on a spacecraft, but I don't think that's ever been officially confirmed.
In the mid-'70s?
I think it would be... Yeah, I think it was in the 70s, like right after the after the Apollo program, or it may have been like Apollo... Well, no, it would have been after the Apollo program, so maybe Genesis.
Wow, that's back when they weren't into personal grooming either, so that would be ugly.
That was everywhere.
Yeah. If I recall, there had been rumors that two people had experienced that in space, but I don't believe that's ever actually been confirmed. I think it's really, at this point, just more of a professional courtesy type thing that it doesn't really occur. But I mean, I gotta think it's possible.
It has to.
I would have to think, like I was telling Brad during the break, the moment that this whole, like, hey, we're taking civilians up into space thing, you know for a fact that at least one of those couples is going to be like, we're going to be the first.
Every one of them are going to be like, okay, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Check it out.
The moment we have an alone time.
Well,
why wouldn't you want to try it?
I mean, think if you're going to be able to be the first person to join the 100-Mile High Club.
Dude, yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly, but the logistics of it are way too complicated. Like
Ron and Brandon seem to think that you can't anchor yourself enough to actually make the act happen.
I don't think you would really need to, quote, anchor yourself.
But would you not?
It's the kinetics. That's the thing.
But here's the problem. If you're not anchored to anything, you'll be floating everywhere, and that could get complicated. The only way to really maintain position would if there's like select footholds and handholds.
No, here's the thing. I think Skip agrees with me. You don't have to anchor yourself to the object.
No, you just have to hold the other person.
Yes,
Yeah.
is that
so
what you're
only
about
one
to say?
person has to be strapped in.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it truly is more of like a docking procedure, if you're getting my
Yes, that's true. But neither one of you...
Over and over again.
Yeah, neither one of you has to be anchored to a wall or a floor or a ceiling, right? I mean, that's my thought.
I mean,
you'd be
well,
floating.
and let me bring it this way. I mean, there's possibilities of the act underwater, and similarly weightless underwater. I mean, it's not an easy procedure, but it's definitely doable.
I like how we're calling it a procedure.
Well, and here's the thing. They say it's impossible to do in a hot tub. It's not impossible to do in a hot tub.
It's not impossible,
Oh, no.
but
I mean,
you're
it's
also
tough.
got gravity.
It takes effort.
Yes, it does take. Yes, there is some effort. So I'm thinking that the advantage you have in space over being in the hot tub or in the pool, for that matter, is in the pool you're like, I gotta go for air.
Yeah,
you got to get up for air. But in space, you're still breathing because you're just floating around inside the space station of the space shuttle.
Well, they also have those flights that go up to like 50,000 feet and dive straight down to simulate the zero G.
Right.
So I mean, I wonder if it's ever occurred in one of those. I would think that's probably like, although that's usually like a 2-minute ride, but
I'm pretty sure it
cover
has.
most people.
They've taken more than one model up there to have pictures taken while that's going on.
But that would be, talk about pressure. It's like, okay, you got 2 minutes, go. And what guy, when can, you give a guy 2 minutes and tell him to go, he's got to fit. That's not going to, although, you got an extra minute and a half in there. So,
well, he's got to take a nap or have a cigarette.
Or a sandwich.
That's true.
Or a sandwich.
Well, and I think one of the larger concerns is going to be matter afterwards. If you catch my drift, I don't want to get too
because that's going to be floating around a little bit,
right? Well, you have to have some sort of matter catcher.
Yeah,
and I think that's
a matter catcher.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I think they make those naturally.
Well, it's wow.
It's called Rick's condoms.
Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick's condoms.
Well, that's what you'd have to do. I mean, because otherwise, you're right. It would be just sloppy.
Yeah.
And out of my eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or so I mean, but you do have there are towels in space. There are moist towelettes in space. So I mean, they could do that.
There's all sorts of complications, but I feel like if we really put our scientific mind behind that, Skip Lacombe can invent something to send up in the next spacecraft.
He's a smart man.
That will allow us to study these things scientifically.
All right, Skip. Thank you.
Well, for the past like 60.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say real quickly, for the past like 60 years, all of the space flight has been really governmental. Now that we have more commercial stuff going up, this is going to happen. You're going to have a space porn within the next 3-4 years.
This all started with our discussion of the Aurora Hotel, which is supposedly going up there in 2022. You've heard about that?
Is that the expandable modular from Bigelow Aerospace? It was a privately crowdfunded hotel. They say it's about the size of a private jet, and that it'll cost $9.5 million for a 12-day ride. That sounds exciting.
Doesn't it, though?
Yeah, there's a billionaire out there named John Bigelow who has Bigelow Aerospace, and he's developing this modules that collapse basically and expand. So they're really small to be able to get into a rocket, but once they get up into space, they'll expand out and blow up like an air balloon. And so those modules will all connect too and create a new private ISS, basically a space station, but private.
Oh, that's cool. But bottom line is this: if I'm paying $9.5 million and there's some hot babe up there, they're not telling me I can't do it.
$9.5 million, I'm having sex up there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting
I'm getting some. I don't know.
I don't spend that much money for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't come up here to play with dirt.
Yeah. All right, Skip, buddy. Thanks. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right. Let's see here. Texas Yankee wants to discuss International Women's Day. We do have a couple of minutes. Texas Yankee, you're on the air.
Good morning, fellas.
How are
you?
I have to pick. I don't know who I need to pick it with. Someone needs to be sacked. Whoever's in charge.
Mm-hmm.
It's International Women's Day, and there's not one damn sandwich in my break room at work.
Oh, man.
God.
That is a problem. Are there enough international women at your place of work, I guess is the first question
That's
we need
also,
to ask.
yeah, I feel like there's something we
We
need to.
are an international company.
Uh-huh.
Yes, absolutely. There are plenty, but I'm still sans sandwich.
Does your location have a
Not gonna work
kitchen?
for me. It does.
It does have and there are no women in there.
Well, I mean, don't
Not at
tell
the
me
moment.
they give them offices.
I'm speechless.
Here's what I would recommend, and I think my trusted colleagues would agree here. I would, if I were you, I would go straight to the HR department,
Mm-hmm.
and I would demand that this obvious miscarriage of justice be
Yeah.
corrected immediately, if not sooner.
You are quite literally the victim of a horrible crime.
Yeah. On International Women's Day,
Okay,
it
so-
is a crime. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after I do this, I have a follow-up question on that. After I go to the HR department, how many positions are available at MoJo 50? Because I'm pretty sure I will lose my job.
You would not like you wouldn't like working here. I can tell you that because on the 1st and the 15th, they just hand you a blank envelope with
Yeah.
nothing in it and say here's your check.
That has a note inside that says, "Wouldn't it be nice?"
Yes.
But if you do get a job here, I mean, if you want to work here, that's fine. What I'm going to have you do, you are going to put on a nice blonde wig and a dress, and you will be in the kitchen serving up sandwiches. How does that
As long
sound?
as you call me ma'am.
There you go.
Super ma'am.
There you go.
Absolutely.
All right,
Sounds
good luck. Good luck with your endeavors today, and
Later.
you might want to take a
All right.
box to your meeting with HR. Just
Yes.
saying. Yeah. All right, buddy. Demands on this International Women's Day.
Travesty.
I cannot believe that. Do women not know what they're supposed to be doing? Do we have to have a remedial course in sandwich
I've been
making?
upset for the longest time that there are no women that are either barefoot or pregnant in our MoJo kitchen.
I can do without the pregnant thing.
Oh, I mean, well,
You know what
isn't that
happens?
what they're supposed to do?
Yeah, but then it just gets noisy, and you get
They need to make International Sexist Day the day
Yes.
after.
Yes.
That's every day at the MoJo 50 studios.
If they're gonna do it the right way, that's exactly what they need to do.
So long as they don't have a beard, they can be pregnant all they want to.
Yes, was it Wiley Simpson?
Wiley E. Simpson Coyote.
Wiley E. Coyote, the pregnant man who is the international symbol for International Women's Day today.
In 2019, that is your International Women's Day representative.
You know, again, I was the other day commenting how much we have seen the world change in our lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother, who was born in 1898, think about when she was born,
Mm-hmm.
think about what there wasn't.
Yeah.
There was, they barely into cars. There's still probably horses and buggies running around at the same time as the cars were. Certainly no airplanes.
Yeah.
And in her life, she died in 1998, so she was 1996. She was 98, or she was real close to 100.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine everything she saw in her life. She went from no computers to seeing computers. She went from no flight to space flight. She went from no television to television, no radio to radio. All of those fabulous inventions, those fabulous innovations that human beings were able to create over the course of that century.
Yeah, which, you got to think, we were pretty much, I don't want to say like Neolithic for the longest time,
Yes.
but up until about the 70s.
Yeah.
We were pretty much, we had the same level of technology we had.
Yes.
For
a very long
time. And it was the invention of the microchip.
But imagine what we have seen in our lifetimes.
That changed
We have now seen women become men. We've seen men become women.
Yeah.
We've seen people marching in the street with pea hats.
That we have seen.
Think of all of the things, all of the dramatic improvements that we have seen in our lifetimes, and the things that we could see still to come.
Oh, yeah. No, I think I'll see space travel before I die.
I'm not talking about simple things, such mundanities, mundane activities as space travel. I'm talking about women growing penises. I'm talking about men growing breasts.
True advancements. True advancements.
For
That's
crying
right.
out loud. What are you?
That's right.
What are you, a caveman?
Men having periods.
Now you're catching on.
Yes, I see it now, Brad. I see
This
it.
is really what
I
we
see
are
the
all
future.
about. The advancements in civilization are stunning.
Oh.
And I think on that
And
note,
brave.
Yes, very brave. I think on that note, it's time to wrap this up.
let's go.
One more whistle. Come on. One more. There it is. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. The end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. But as always, before we go, let's find out what, in fact, we learned today.
Mm-hmm.
We learned never send a dog to do a drone's job.
Yeah.
They don't eat as much.
No.
Mm-hmm. We learned that sex in space is going to be far more complicated than any of us really thought.
Yes.
That really kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
It should be a simple act.
It really should.
It's just a 1-2 punch, 30 seconds, you're done. I mean,
that's how long it should take.
What else is there to do?
Exactly.
And we learned that it's International Women's Day. So after the program here, I am immediately going to go find an international woman and see if she'd like to either make sandwiches or try sex in space. Because that's a hell of a pickup
You win
line.
either way, Brad.
Right? I'm just saying.
Love women.
Brandon, what, if anything, did you learn today?
I learned that space is hard. Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Never trust your third wife's boyfriend, second husband's wife's dog's babysitter.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think you could, but the problem is you can't.
Exactly. And bring your pet spider around Brad, and he'll throw his pet rock at you.
Oh, you do that, and I will throat punch you. Do not bring any pets
with this pet rock.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Spiders are to me what snakes were to Doc Thompson. No.
Exactly.
No.
Madam Sue Jackhole said she learned that Brandon's childhood must have been disturbing. You have no idea.
Look at him. If that's not obvious, painfully obvious, you're missing something.
Let's see. Whoa, Nelly said being hot isn't all it's cracked up to be. At least now I know why I have trouble sleeping.
Tell me about it.
Hey.
Tell me about it. It is not easy being this hot all the time.
Right. And Jack Hole Sweat said today a woman who thinks she's a man gave birth after being impregnated by a gay man with a thing for trannies. Straight dude. Come on, giant meteor.
That was the thing that really got me, is the fact that he's apparently
somebody
they
out
are
there.
married.
Yeah.
So he's married to what she used to be a woman, but I can't even begin to what.
I don't know, Brad.
At least he's not into feet. That's all I can say. That's all. Oh, what is
Well, we got Rondolph.
Ron behind the glass.
You know what
did
I
learn?
learned today?
What'd you learn, Rondolph?
That if your bones get brittle in space, it's going to be a tough time having sex.
Damn,
That's true.
straight.
That's true.
Especially without the anchor point. Please tell me, by the way, that you found the MeWe What I Learned Today chat room that they created.
Oh, yeah. So we have a new chat room.
Bitch and whine and moan if we don't read some of their
The What I Learned
comments.
Today chat, the What I Learned on MoJo 50 chat room is now open for business. They are still actually having conversations in there. I had to go hunting for them.
Okay, so still, they
They created another chat room that is the same as the other chat room.
Which and they already had not only the MoJo 50 chat room, but they had the Just Outside Your Comfort Zone chat room, which was supposed to be a little
Not
racier.
a good plan. Not a good
And now there's a third chat room that is specifically designed to be the What I Learned Today chat room, which has
That's
become
right.
part 3 of the trilogy.
So what we've got, we're going to have like 50 different chat rooms all doing the same thing by the time we're done.
So there's basically there's still nothing that we can comment on there, right?
Exactly.
Well, that's at least they're consistent.
That's true.
If you nothing else, they're consistent. What do you have coming up on the Morse code program today?
Oh, I've got all sorts of stuff coming up. Jason's back. And,
yeah, the brown one. I love him.
And we've got Suspicious Package Friday today.
Nice.
And I've got 2, which is 2 more than I thought we would get.
And you're also going to announce the winner of the the high bidder of the coffee and the Doc Thompson hat, from which you can create your own Doc Thompson clone.
Betting is still open. We have not announced a winner yet.
So send the bid to info@mojo50.com. We'll get to those new numbers on procrastination as soon as Doc Thompson returns from his vacation. Your Daily Mojo today is a Ron Phillips production. Wherever you go, whatever you do, live by the 5 rules. You have a shot at being right and being happy. Good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are.